Yes. Yes, I are.
You are now tuned in to the greatest blood clot podcast in the world.
We here.
Welcome in advance. Leave all judgment at the door. We're here for the jokes. We don't do things lazy. It's the extra gravy. You are now tuned in to the greatest blood clot podcast
Tell
in
him
the
again.
world. You're welcome in advance.
Come on, Alfred.
Leave all judgment at the door.
I'm gonna just call that nigga
We're
Alfred.
here for the jokes.
You sound like an Alfred.
We don't do things lazy. It's the extra gravy.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Extra Gravy. I'm Marlon.
I'm Norm.
I'm Alicia.
And we back, man. A very tumultuous week. A very, very tumultuous week in Toronto entertainment. I'd like to start this off by telling you guys, yo, I'm human like you're human. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just human like you're human. That's my quote of the week.
Human.
That is my quote of the week. Shout out to E-Bone.
Oh yeah,
my
I was
God.
like, wait, where did that come from?
You know you heard. You're like, that sounds familiar. Yeah, man. For those of you guys who do not live in the city of Toronto, it has been, it's been quite a week. Especially this weekend. Just
Matt's
passed.
over there acting like he's stressed.
I mean, shit. It's kind of a stressful week still. With everything that happened. How was y'all week? Let's start there. Are we good?
It was better than a lot of other people. That's for sure. I stayed away, so I felt like
You were in Montreal?
I was good. No, I was here at home,
You were
but
just
I was
not
just
in the
away
mix.
from all the
Just
hoopla.
not in the mix.
Yeah.
I was not trying to be.
I mean, my week was fine. I worked a lot. I got OVO tickets for free.
Okay, Shooting Stars.
Yeah.
Everybody in the Shooting Stars gets free tickets. I rate it. Yeah, no, I saw a lot of Shooting Stars people posted up, which is dope, man. That's pretty fire of them.
We got a call on the day of the festival saying Nico put aside tickets for the team and like some of the media personnel and stuff like that so that we could all go as like a last thank you for participating in this inaugural season.
Yeah. And well, I guess we could start at OVOFest. If we're gonna start at the festivals, let's start at the top. OVOFest postponed because of alleged COVID.
Yes,
Alleged COVID.
Oh wow.
How many days are you supposed
3
to
now.
quarantine?
It's only 3 now.
It's only 3
I
days.
saw a lot of people saying that, like, oh, it's supposed to be 3 days, 12 days quarantine. What is you
not
doing? And I'm like,
anymore. It's pretty quick.
It's 3 days.
They're like, we have to move on with our lives.
Well, our immunity has moved on with their lives. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? Our immunity is a little bit better. Like, even if you get COVID now, especially if you've had it before, it's not going to be as severe. And yeah, it's just a lot of allegedly this weekend. There was
that's the name of
that's the name of this episode.
yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, no, allegedly OVOFest was 3 hours late. Can you confirm this? Can you confirm this?
All I'll say is I went to work at the Argos game,
Okay.
which started at 7:00. All right. Which is the same time that OVO.
What's supposed to start?
Well, to me,
doors
I'm just
open.
like, was that where gates were open? But it said 7:00 on the ticket, I guess, right?
Okay.
I left work early so that I could go thinking like, 9:00 would be the time. I might miss a little bit. I left work actually a little bit later, like 9:15, got there by 9:30 or before that. But it was like crickets, like walking up to
9:30.
9:30 it was
up-
crickets?
Yes.
30.
I was like, yo, what's going on? I was so confused.
What time was the show originally scheduled for? 8?
Well, on the ticket it said 7. So I don't know if that was
What?
like showtime start at 7 or doors open at 7.
Doors open at 7.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I
would
just know
assume
it
it's
said
doors open at
7.
7.
I assumed that the show would start at 9:00. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
I think 9's a reasonable time.
it makes
2
sense.
hours.
Like 2 hours before thing. Like, but I also didn't know how his lineup was going to be, because in years past, he's always had openers,
Exactly.
The last one, Smiley, I remember Smiley was out
Yeah.
there and like, he had some
He's
DJs
had Party open for him,
and like
Baka. All the guys have opened for him.
The Weeknd back in the day.
Division, all the people have opened for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just figured that like I would have missed like openers, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so
I wonder if that changed because of the change of date. Like, I wonder if the entire show itself had to change.
was not the
Of
same.
course,
Because-
because
I don't know.
there was so many people in town from Caravana that you for sure were gonna be on the show.
Like, I would assume Tyga would have been there had it been the weekend prior.
Yeah.
Tyga being an original Young Money
I
member.
assume Tyga couldn't afford to fly back.
No, okay, we're not gonna do that. He sold out Cabana and Rebel in the same day, so I
True.
mean, the man's making money.
No.
I think it's more of a scheduling thing. Probably
Yeah.
he was scheduled somewhere else and whatnot, which is understandable. But yeah, I think that throws off. If you take into account, if we say, okay, Drake did have COVID, right? It legitimizes why OVOFest didn't feel OVOFesty this year. Because obviously you didn't get Drake coming out Chris Brown Lil Baby, which he has numerous songs for.
Yeah.
You didn't get the show on Monday, which got pushed. And then when you got the show, it seemed like not that much of a show to a lot of people.
yeah.
To a lot of people, it seemed like it was just thrown together pretty quickly. Which, if you say, yeah, you had to postpone and people and elements were taken away, then, I mean, what do you kind of expect?
Yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, 9:30 in my seat. And I was like, so what did I miss? They're like, nothing. I was like, it's just been like,
Just
the
music
DJ, like
playing?
the music wasn't even playing loud or anything. It was like really, really quiet. So I was like, what?
It was the Budweiser house music. You know that track they play when the concert's done? Like, and it's just a playlist that loops. No. So people were hearing the playlist loop over and over again
Was
for
it?
hours,
2.5
apparently.
hours.
Oh.
And on top, it's like little things like getting a DJ. Like Charlie B could have been out there just hyping everyone up, getting everybody ready, or one of the DJs. You know what I mean? Like, I think the fact that they didn't have the DJ there.
Well, somebody said that there
is-
was a DJ, but I
was
don't know if
told
it
by
was like
numerous people that
earlier.
they didn't have a DJ, that there wasn't DJ for hours, and they kept hearing the Budweiser's playlist over and over again.
Yeah.
And so like that would explain why you walked into like crickets, but also before
Yeah, it was like
Drake
really
shows
quiet and really
sometimes.
calm. I was like, what?
How long did it start after that?
So yeah, like 9:30 hit, and then I'm just like, shit. It started at 10,
10.
like
So half
maybe
an
just
hour. Yeah.
just after 10.
Yeah, because I was about to say if you got there and it started like 10 minutes later, I kind of understand the silence because I've been to OVOFest.
No, but it was silent from before I got
I know,
there.
I know.
Obviously,
I'm just saying that
Yeah.
if you had gotten there, say there was a DJ for a little bit of time before you got there.
Well,
and it was silent.
I will say that like a couple of my friends, they got there at 7:00. So I don't know if there was a DJ like then between like the 7 and 8 hour or like 8 until 8:30 or something. I don't know. But I said to one of the girls that works for Shooting Stars, I was like, something's wrong. Like
you can feel it.
Like
It's not normal.
no, Drake's he's been late before, but not
this
like
late.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And there's a curfew at 11:00, which means that for any extended time, like after 11:00, he has to
crazy
pay
amount.
extra.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's not gonna get everybody in 45, like the whole thing in 45 minutes. And he wouldn't do that because that would be like.
But I
people
mean,
would be
what's a fine to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He'll
What's a
figure it
fine?
out. But I'm sure he's got it
sure
in
he'll
his
be all
pocket.
right.
Like, yeah.
How much is that?
Yeah. But that's the point. Like, nobody really wants to go out of pocket for that
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
shit when you
exactly.
have like that whole time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was like, something's definitely wrong. I was like, I seen that Nicki was here. I saw her like posted up at her to hotel and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Okay. And I was like, it has to be Lil Wayne. Because the same thing happened when he popped in, was as a surprise a few years ago. It was kind of delayed because he couldn't get into the country. Like they had to give him like a window where he could get in. So I was like, yo, it has to be like that.
And
like,
then the show starts and it says, unfortunately,
Lil Wayne
had problems at the
border.
Yeah.
And then like luckily,
How long did it
Drake-
take between that time? Because I didn't get to see any like video of, because
How it
on the
came
screen
out?
is you're just seeing it being typed on the screen.
yeah,
right?
it was like typed out. It was like
Did they pause?
yeah, it was enough pause because people were like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, like that's what happened. No, but people were booing from when I got in there too before. There's nothing being on the stage. People were booing. They were already booing. Some people.
This is Lauryn Hill territory wait time. Because that's a Lauryn Hill concert right there. You'll wait so long, you have to boo to get her out the room.
For real.
It's like the rules.
And then she'll come out for 10 minutes and like
she'll
leave.
come out, do songs on the wrong beat, and just come out and get out
and yell at her band. But yeah, so they were already booing. That's why I was so confused. I was like, there was no like DJ, nothing. I was like, something's not right. And then on the side, it was like, unfortunately, pause. Lil Wayne had trouble at the border, and it's like boo, and it's luckily, and then a little millisecond pause. Drake runs the border. Yeah. So it was enough. It was enough for like the dramatic effect.
A nice little dramatic pause. That's good. That's good.
Play with their emotions. Yeah.
And then Wayne came out.
If someone says something too saucy, like I'm backstage and I'm like just waiting. I hear someone say something about my mom. I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. Don't even type the rest.
Luckily, you guys get your money back.
That's crazy. That is great. Fuck y'all. Drake just starts typing himself. That's amazing. Okay.
Twitter figures.
Ironic. So I heard Nicki bodied the night. I heard Nicki was the best act of the night.
I feel
in terms of like reception from people.
I think that it's so hard. Lil Wayne did a great set.
I don't doubt it.
Lil Wayne was great.
But I also heard that there are people they're too young to appreciate Lil Wayne.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe.
Dog.
Yeah.
The amount of people that have told me it was way too quiet. Like that was the main theme of OVOFest. It was way too quiet.
But then it was way too quiet. But I'm also like, was the music too loud?
No, absolutely not. When you're at Budweiser, you can hear it. You can hear it.
No, you could hear. But I'm like, the music was extra loud because apparently certain people couldn't hear in the front. Like in the front, when Nicki was on, people were like, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. So they were like,
that's the monitors. They probably didn't turn on the front monitors.
I don't know. But I felt like the music was a little bit loud. But also when you do think about it, it was so freaking hot that day. Like I sweated so much. It was disgusting.
And that's the other thing. You were there for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
You're there for 3 hours in the heat, sweltering humidity.
And then people have been drinking from 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like, you know that drunk where it's like, where the heat hits you too. And you're just like, you don't even have that energy anymore.
Toronto,
like,
make some noise. Like,
that's how it was sometimes.
But there's also an issue that we don't discuss enough. I think we discuss it when it comes to the Raptors and sports in this city, but I find that a lot of entertainment, it doesn't matter what facet it is, they're overpricing their fan base. They're overextending the price so large that their core fans
can't get there.
I feel that it turns into a clout thing where people who aren't necessarily big fans of Drake, big fans of Lil Wayne, big fans of Nicki, didn't see their come up, are at this show and are just silent because they don't know the tunes. They only know 2019 and up.
So I will say that has to do with a Ticketmaster thing. It's not a Drake camp thing.
Okay.
Because lawn tickets, their face value, the face value was $90.
No, I mean the resale. The resale was
so
$8.
Ticketmaster, when they realized that the resale value in general, like this whole resale market of everything, they implemented that new system where based off of the demand of tickets at the time, they price it accordingly. So it's Ticketmaster who is raising the prices, and it's not the actual face value. So
that means that the artists are still getting the money that they presented at face value, and Ticketmaster's pocketing the difference. Like when
I have
they
no
raise
clue.
it.
I don't know that.
That's
feel like they would.
crazy.
Because I mean,
what else is the incentive other than you're pocketing the rest that's not face value? Because what are you just making the artists more money? Like that doesn't make any sense. You're making their show less accessible.
Less accessible to true fans. But I guess like their whole mentality is like, oh, if you really want it, you're gonna pay for it, you know?
Yeah.
Because then it cuts down people just buying to like resell, but I'm just like, you're the bad person in this situation. Because at least when people do get the tickets and they try to resell, they eventually come to a point where they're like, fuck, I just got to sell it. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If they price it too high,
Exactly.
it's not like something that can sit. It's not like sneakers. Sneakers could sit for years. And you could eventually still get the ridiculous ass that you're whatever. You know what I mean? As long as the market continues. You could keep them. Tickets, they have an expiration date. Like, you have to
will lose money.
get rid of your ticket
You will lose
before
money.
the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're only
So
20
it's like,
minutes in. I'll still sell it to you. Come on. You know?
yeah, like when I was walking up, there was like guys outside trying to like sell the tickets, and they were like going back and forth with this one girl. He was like, yo, he don't really got the tickets. He just trying to scam you.
There
And the
was
next
a
one
lot
was
of
like,
scams.
I'll give it to you with this, and this. Like, so
There was a lot of scams because of the postponing of the event. Because now it's very easy for a scammer to be like, oh, I was there. I'm from Kansas. I was there and I was going to go and I can't go anymore. Here's my ticket. No one's really going to question that. They're already expecting that. Oh, I have work. I have to babysit. I have to do this and that. So many people could get away with that. The scammers just got in there. I went on my Instagram notes the next day and I saw 3 people saying fuck scammers. Oh, if you scam this week, you die. Your scammers are evil people. Like, I'm like, you guys all got.
yeah. No,
That's
even
crazy.
like one of my friends, one of the guys from the M2M podcast, I ran into him the second that I got there, and he said he got his tickets and one of his tickets didn't work when he got there. Like, he bought it off of a man and his ticket was like, oh, you've already entered. And he was like,
Jeez,
he was like, don't I'm
Don't
not about
piss
to do
me
this.
off.
But he ended up getting in like customer service. But there was a lot of people who were like, that was happening to. And
I noticed the theme of this weekend is security guards. That's a theme across the entire weekend. For those of you guys who are not in Toronto, there was multiple festivals this weekend. There's Kultureland, there's Kingston Fest, there was OVOFest, there's Boots and Hearts, there's what else? Anything else?
Jerk Fest.
All the fests were this
All the
weekend.
fests were this
All the
weekend, for
fests. And throughout, even at OVOFest, I heard the lawn, people rushed the fence of the lawn.
Oh, really?
And it was so packed, like so overflowed up there that majority of the people on the lawn couldn't see unless they went on the incline. And you know when you're on the incline of
Your
that hill,
ankles and
you
back
basically
thighs are screwed.
Yeah, your ankles are screwed, but the person's also a dot now. And then on top of that, I heard the cameras were malfunctioning, like the video. People said that, I've heard from multiple people that video wasn't working the whole night. Like, it was working for most of the night.
Yeah.
But there were parts of the night that people were on the lawn. Some of my friends were on the lawn. They're like, we just had to listen because they couldn't see anything.
The videos that were in the front, like, I don't know if there was videos in the back or something like that, but they work because like I was watching it too. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when you want to see like facial expressions and shit like that, you can't see it no matter where you are unless you're like in the front row, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I felt like the video was working. I thought it wasn't working earlier when I first got there because it did some like little
Glitchy
whatever.
thing?
Yeah. The back of it. So
You
I
gotta
don't
get
know.
an up close shot of Nicki forgetting the words to her lyrics. Like, you
What
just
song?
gotta get that up
What
close
song
look.
did she forget?
A bunch of them.
a bunch of them.
Bunch of them. You're
I
just
have it all.
watching her.
I have all the video, you know.
I was dying seeing those videos because I'm like, she's playing it off like she wants y'all to rap it.
Yeah.
But she's really forgetting the words.
She,
Sometimes
like-
she just made up sounds.
Yeah.
She just looked like she couldn't move.
She looked very uncomfortable.
She was walking around like she was ready to fall.
She had her purse. It looked very casual. It looked like you caught her in the mall.
Yeah.
And like you gave her a microphone.
Came out with 2 purses, like the waist one and then the arm one, and then she eventually threw the arm one.
Not the fanny pack to
wa-
cover the gun. Oh, poor
It was
Ting.
giving me Lil Kim vibes. To be
I
honest.
feel bad because
Yeah.
like, especially as a new mother, like, and you try to get that baby weight off. I gotta sympathize with her. Like, it's not. She doesn't look like she was taking the easy route out, where it's like just do a surgery and chop, snip, snip.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was like I don't think it was a
She
weight
talked.
thing.
Well, she talked about her because
Weight before?
the last show she did, was it
Wire-
not Rolling Loud,
Wireless?
Wireless.
Yeah.
people were bringing it up nonstop, and then she made a video about it, like laughing about it. It's like, give me some time to lose this child, or whatever. You know what she says. So it's definitely a thing that's on her mind. I think she felt
uncomfortable with her jacket because she did struggle to try to like get her jacket like undone and stuff like that. She looks hot. It was like stupid hot. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think they realized how hot it was gonna be when they were trying to plan like what they were gonna wear and shit like that. Like Wayne came out with layers and layers. I was like, damn, nigga, like
he dead ass thought it was gonna be cold because he did an interview with Much Music, and said, I thought it was gonna be colder than this. Last time I was in Canada, it was mad cold. I'm like, nigga, it was December.
And then he like stripped. He just took everything off. But it's Weezy. He does that all the time.
He's rapping shirtless. Eventually.
Yeah, I think that Wayne was literally the best thing, I feel like. But my friend, she was somewhere else, and she did say that she heard a group of people say, I don't even understand what he's saying.
See?
And she was just like,
man, them prices, bro. Just pricing out the core fan base.
For Nicki, she didn't have the best set, but the Barbs were in attendance. Barbs always show up.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come on. They're ready.
They're always ready. They find a way to get a ticket.
There were some goosebump moments during Nicki's set that I saw where I was like, wow, she must have felt like, wow. Like, when's the last time she was in Toronto?
She hasn't been in a while. So I mean, she could definitely do her own solo show here, and
she could pack
that shit
no problem.
for sure.
No problem.
In a second, the Barbs would be there. But again, she did forget her lyrics and stuff like that. It's not a Nicki show that like I've seen before. Like, I know she puts on better shows. You know what I mean?
Security. The Barbs came through on your TikTok video. That's for sure.
I know, they were like arguing with each other and shit. It's so funny.
What's it called? The security guards had no control.
They didn't,
because people were. I heard there was people that were in someone's seat. They're telling them, "You're in my seat," and they're just staring at them. So,
yeah.
And they're telling security guards ain't doing shit about it. People are rushing the fence, the line. Bully. People are standing on that in-between area, packing that part out. That's what I did at Chris Brown Lil Baby. I ain't even gonna lie.
But you know what?
Arm seats.
I was in the 200 section, and I didn't feel like it. Like, the aisles didn't seem packed.
They're not gonna be down there.
Down there, it was like up there. They're just like, fuck it. They don't. They're like, we don't have enough manpower. But like on the 200 level, when I was going into my seat, there were so many people trying to get in there, and they had like a gate, and they were trying to like whatever, like push people out. Yeah, and be like, no, let me see your ticket. They like literally checked everybody's tickets and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. It's like, I've been to so many OVOFests there specifically, right? I've seen just the same size crowd, but I've seen so much more order.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. I'm looking at, I go into places now and I look at security guards and I'm like, I could fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm walking past, I'm like, I could beat you up. I could beat you up. I could beat you up.
Yeah.
Who's getting hired to do these things?
Yeah.
I'm watching security guards just on their phone.
They don't care.
They don't give a shit. It's like they're becoming security guards to get into free shows. I want to get paid. I'm gonna go to these concerts anyways. Why not get paid?
No, for sure. Because I used to.
Those security guards crying to the music.
You know there was. I just seen a video actually before I was here. It was at one of the weekend shows, and the security guard, he's like with his back faced to the stage.
Oh yeah,
and he's singing and dancing, and the caption was like, I don't know, I'm here to like work, but also listen to the like whatever, protect the weekend, but also listen to him or some shit like that. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do for the most part.
That's it.
And I don't think they had enough. Like, I remember the first OVOFest, they had they have it now, but they never had it. They had the metal detectors and stuff like that. Like, I worked there and they never had metal detectors, and they put it up for OVOFest. Like, security.
No, they had it at another show I went to Manifesto a couple years ago that I went to. They had
most places have metal detectors now. You know what I mean? But like then, so that was 2010.
Oh, okay.
It was the first OVO.
Yeah.
There was no metal detectors, and I show up to work and I just see like beer security, beer police, like metal detectors. I was like, damn. Like, to the point where they for that first show, they gated off all the alcohol. You could only be in certain sections for the alcohol, and you can't bring it to your seat.
Yeah.
Like, it was madness.
Yeah.
It was like they were very concerned about security back then.
Yeah, I just wish that the artists got some better like people to attend the show. Like even Skillabang, I heard came out and it was not. He didn't get nearly the amount of reception that he should have gotten.
No, he did.
Everybody Jamaican that was there at least said that no one like. It was not nearly as loud as it could have been for him, because that was the talk going into the next day. Even at the other festival, people were like, first OVOFest, now this. People who were there.
No, like because when he came out, I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't expect for him to have that much like fans. So I don't know. I guess
you were just in a better
depends
section.
on where you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it depends. Maybe where you were sitting and
Yeah.
like the person was sitting.
Yeah.
Maybe back there they didn't like realize.
I heard
like,
it was crickets for Skillabang, and my
No.
heart broke, bro. I was like, that's crazy. Because even at the other festival, at Kingston Fest,
I was
only the
disappointed. He
people
didn't
in the
seem to
front could hear him, so only those people were cheering for him.
Yeah.
Then all the people in the back are booing, and he has no idea why they're booing, other than like his sound. So it's just like, just craziness.
You want to listen to the video? I have the video for that.
For that one, yeah,
Yeah.
find it. I
was gonna say though, he forgot his lyrics too. I felt like he forgot his lyrics. He wasn't singing. I was just like,
that's a lot of dancehall
And
artists,
then-
though. They'll seem like they're. That's a lot of dancehall artists.
I was like, bro, you're
they'll
not gonna
say like a
say
1-2
shit?
line and then just vibe out.
to the point where Nicki thought it. I think Nicki thought it was a mic and gave him her mic,
Oh man,
and he still never did nothing.
this guy has
I
both
was like,
mics.
what?
Wap, 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 wap.
Like-
That's
Okay,
crazy.
here. Oh, it's not when he first came out.
Yeah, no, I don't hear nobody.
I hear people.
You hear people? You're hearing something. You hear people? You hear people? No one hears people.
No, I hear people. I hear people, but like they weren't necessarily singing the lyrics.
That's my
because
point.
They were yelling, like cheering for him, but they weren't singing the
They
lyrics.
don't know the lyrics then.
But he don't even know the lyrics.
He does know the lyrics. He expects y'all to know the lyrics. That's why he's not singing it.
It was even the
I'll
same
show
for,
you.
like,
Want me to show you another video of Skillabang at a much smaller place, and it's 10 times louder? That's everywhere he goes, other than here. I'm telling you, that was nothing. That place should have erupted and broke if he came out. Especially it's a remix with Nicki. No,
Yeah.
that's the one with Nicki. Oh my God, the Barb's in there too. Nah, that place should have broken half.
I felt like the energy was up for him,
That place should have broken half.
considering.
But anyways, on the other side of the city,
That was downtown Budweiser.
north.
State.
downtown.
Are we going
Budweiser.
north or
we
we going
we
to
going
east?
north. We going
Or
north.
are we going east and north?
Northeast. We're going
then
northeast. Going northeast to Markham Fairgrounds. Lord have his mercy. Kultureland day one was BURNA Boy and Friends as a Love Damini show. His tour that he's been doing. I think he had a show in Vancouver the day before. And yeah, I got there. First thing, lost my weed. Right off top. Lost my weed.
You should have known it was all downhill from there.
I should have known. I should have known.
That was the omen. That was it.
You know what it was? I walked up
Foreshadowing
to the.
future.
I walked up after we parked. Did you guys see the movie Nope?
Nope.
No.
Well, anyways, I walk up to the front where the line is and everything, and I'm looking at the, like the box office, like how they have the front part telling you where you are, and it's just dege. It's just like just ripped, torn paper. Not even a Kultureland sticker. Not even a sticker to be like, this is Kultureland. So I'm like already like, okay, Markham Fairgrounds needs a renovation. They need some renovations. Like, you're making too much money.
So
So
nothing on the marquee.
Nothing on the marquee. There was no marquee. It was just there.
No marquee.
It was just a stand. And so I walk up, security guard. I asked the security guard, "Yo, where is there a VIP line or what?" He's like, "Oh, go to the box office and you'll get your ribbon from them." I'm like, "All right, cool." I go stand there, pull my phone out. My bag of weed must have been in the same pocket. I get to the box office. They're like, oh, no, you don't have to come here. Just go into the line. I'm like, all right. Walk over to the line, which is when I realize my weed is gone. I look back over. I walk back over there. It's one of the rats.
Someone got
already.
it, bro.
Yeah, they scurried.
Snatched that shit
They
up quick.
snatched that quick. It was a half ounce.
You know what's funny?
They came up.
Is that I went to Markham Fairgrounds last summer for like a soca fet.
You lost your weed again?
No.
And the second that I stepped in there, I found like a bunch of pre-rolls in a thing. Like, I don't smoke. And
You
so I
smoked
picked
them,
them
don't lie.
up.
You smoked
No, I
them.
was pregnant. I picked them up and I was like, here, like I gave it to the people that smoke. The second that I walked in, I found just like at least like 6 pre-rolls.
Just a rule at that place.
Just lose your
Just a
weed.
rule. Lose your weed. Somebody just taking weed out of people's pockets in line, laying them on the ground. Some Robin Hood of weed. Anyways, so now I'm in line. There's 4 lines, and 2 of them are closed off for no apparent reason. It's those like security club gates, you know, those little silver ones that they link together.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Get in the line, and we're like 5 people away. All of a sudden, the girl goes, "We're out of ribbons." I'm standing there like, yo. So now, general admission, the line is so long, it's wrapped around a field, okay?
Yeah.
General admission, the guy's just still letting people in, putting wristband ribbons on them, while VIPs just standing there, just with their hands in their pants, right?
Yeah.
They said, oh, no ribbons. Didn't offer a solution. Didn't say approximate time new ribbons might be coming. If there were new ribbons coming, would there be new ribbons? Is there VIP left? Are you at capacity? Nothing.
Just
okay?
no ribbons. That's it.
That's it. For 5 minutes go by, and I'm just like, so why can't we just show them our ticket that says, it says VIP. Why can't we go in there and just show it to them? They're like, no, you need ribbons. You got to have the ribbon or they're not going to let you through. I'm like, all right, cool. Half an hour standing there. Half an hour, mind you, which I'm watching club things happening. Security guy standing there. See a man walk up, 15 deep, walks up to the side, little corner. Yo, my man,
Paid him off.
what's good? Can you let me in? He's like, bro, I can't. You see the line? We gotta get you in line. He's like, bro, I paid $10K for my booth. I'm not waiting in line when I paid $10K for my booth. Man didn't check proof, didn't check an email, didn't check nothing. He said, oh, you got the booth? All right, come through. I'm watching 15 people just walk through. No search. No, nothing. Just walk through. And I recognized 2 of them. And I was like, there are guns in here.
Stripping is
Turned to my girl, I was like, there are guns in here.
Beware.
So then now, standing there, half an hour goes by. Man comes up, says something to the girl that told us there was no ribbons. Says something to her. She turns. She's like, all right, guys, we're going to get you guys to show your tickets when you go inside.
Jeez.
And I'm like, you're fucking joking, right?
Jeez.
You're joking.
No, Marlon.
Mind
the
you, these
joke's
are
on
security
you.
guards that I can definitely beat up. All right? Except for the girls, obviously. But
Your girl could have done that.
we start walking up. So the girl's scanning regardless, right?
Yeah.
She scans. I showed her the same ticket again for the second ticket that I got to scan. Showed her the same ticket she just scanned. It's not scanning. She's like, just go.
Just like that.
Just go ahead. Just go. I was like, oh.
Go ahead.
So if I had paid for
worries.
these, this is worse than like when you do the homework the one time and the teacher's like, well, fuck that homework.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if I had paid for this, I would be, wow. Things would be happening. So then I walk in. I go, I'm looking for the VIPs. I see a tent says bottle service. I see disgruntled faces just all over it. I say, that's not where I'm going. I walk to this next section area. It's like a little elevated deck. And there's 4 security guards in front of there. One of them recognizes me. He's like, yo, what you saying, yo? Yo, come through. Yo, come through.
So lax.
I was like,
so lax.
okay, it's this type of night.
You feel
Got
good about it, but you also know that, oh, fuck, this is so
but I always recognize when I'm getting in and when everyone's getting it. You know what I mean? This is not when I'm getting it. This is everyone's
It's not
getting
special
it.
treatment. This is
If
negligence.
any of these guys have friends, cousins, or family members that want to come to the show,
They're getting in.
they are in this VIP area right
Absolutely.
now. That's the first thing that went to my head. All right? Get in the VIP area, rammed. First of all, rammed, okay? The front part of the concert is all rammed. You see bare people. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of people here. It's a good turnout. Get in the VIP booth. You barely move. I happened to see my boys who have a booth there. I said, thank you, God. Went into the booth, copped a seat, and throughout like the next 10, 15 minutes, you see the VIP just get so unbelievably rammed.
Yeah.
thick.
That people are going into other people's booth to stand now.
No.
And the shooters are getting angry.
No.
The shooters are getting very, very angry, bro. So it's just a lot of that throughout the whole night. I end up hearing that people who were in general admission upgraded, paid like $200 to upgrade to VIP. So that's why VIP is so flooded. I also get shown a video from my boy who was there earlier on in the day where the front part of the VIP is the entire front part, like I mean 70 to 100 feet from the stage to the back is VIP.
Yeah.
The whole front part. The whole like area where you party for a concert usually.
And there's a whole space.
Whole space there. DJ goes on the mic at some point in the day and goes, "Y'all, how my people in VIP doing? Y'all good?" Everybody's like, "Yeah." "How my people in the back doing? I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all want to be in VIP. There's nothing I can do about it, though."
Oh, don't poke the beast.
You don't
man.
taunt poor people. And they learned that lesson the hard way. These people said, nah.
You're not going to say.
First of all, you don't taunt
can't be
African
over
and
there.
Are you
West
daring me?
Indian people. You do not taunt African and West Indian people.
Yeah.
Everybody said, fuck this gate. Kicked that shit down and rushed.
Yeah.
And now the VIP is everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's VIP now.
Just vibes.
Just vibes. So by the time I got there, all that had happened. And that's why everything's so full up in the front and everything like that.
You know, it's like Markham Fairgrounds plays a huge part because when I went to that Soulchild, it was ridiculous as well. And to the point where I was like, I don't even want to be here. Cause like, yo,
What
I was
Soulchild
fucking,
is this?
I honestly don't remember. It was August. So around this time, it was like Dr. J was there and stuff like that. And I like showed up, you know, pregnant. I'm like, yo, I don't even want to fucking be here. Like, I'm tired. Like, I just want to throw up. Like, because it was earlier, like, you know.
Beginning stages.
The same Dr.
Yeah, it
J
was
that
4
went
months.
online and said, "You see how we make these shows look easy?" That same Dr. J?
Yeah, I guess. I didn't
Interesting.
see him see that.
It's
say
very
that.
interesting. It's very interesting.
But yeah, so when we got there, like huge lineups to even park, ridiculous. And then you get out your car and you're waiting in another huge line to get through the thing, like the doors and show your tickets. And we waited so long and there was so much pushing, people trying to like squeeze in and hop fences and like trying to like get to the front as soon as possible. I see men trying to like pay security guards, like other people coming from the other side that had like a group and was like, oh yeah, like, and we had a booth. So like we were going there with a booth,
And all
bottle
those people
service
got
and
in
all that
before
other
you.
stuff. And it was still just like one line for everybody and like random people with like big groups who
Walk to the
might
front
have like
and
known
just-
somebody, you know what I mean? So all of that was happening, like, and I'm just like, this is annoying. And then you get inside and you have to go somewhere to get your bottle. Well, I think they didn't specify. So we had to go and like wait in another line to get our bottles.
Bottles
like
weren't like delivered to you.
No, you had to like go and get your own bottles and stuff like that.
Wait, are you paying
does
club
this?
prices? Like booth
I don't know.
club
I never
prices?
paid for it, so I have no clue. I don't think it would be. I don't. Well, I don't know.
When I was
wouldn't be
there on
surprised.
Saturday, they
I
were
wouldn't be
club booth
surprised.
prices.
I wouldn't be
And
surprised.
we'll get into the booth packages later.
Now, but in these booths, do they even have seating for the
Brother,
people? Or it's just a table?
it's a two couch seat. That's it.
It's just one love
There's no
seat?
table.
No, these ones had tables, but I don't think it had chairs.
You guys have
These
the
ones
stand up
like
one, the stand up tables,
high top tables.
That
But
with the
there was
Soca events, they do these like white high top tables
tables.
that like you can just place your things there. And
Yeah,
but
they didn't
with,
have like
with the
actual
show on Saturday. There's no tables. There's an even if there were tables, people would have thrown them out because there's no room to stand.
So
Yeah.
they were just squared out sections.
Just
for people to
squared
stand
out
in?
sections for $10,000 and $5,000.
Yeah.
12 for 12 people.
Pardon me.
It was
For
12 people for the
12.
10,000. You get 12 VIP tickets.
That's just under 1,000.
You get 6 bottles, 4 premium, 2 champagne. That's for $10,000. Now,
God
if you pay that and you come and you're standing beside every other peasant,
Every other Dick, Tom, and Harry.
$10,000 to stand up beside every other for people to step on my chicks?
Yeah.
Nah, brother. $5,000 for people to step on my shoes?
Yeah.
For me to not have a seat?
I paid that money so you wouldn't step on them.
I paid my money so I could wear my white Air Forces and leave here unhinged. Like, it's yeah.
Well,
no.
so yeah, like we had to go and like get our bottles, and I remember we were standing there so long, and they were trying to say that they were running out of certain like bottles because like you had to I guess you originally were like you had 2 options, like a Captain Morgan or like a tequila type vibe or whatever, right?
Everyone
like
was picking one side.
You had to like pick one or the other. You know what I mean? I don't know. And like they were running out of certain shit. Like they didn't have enough cups. They didn't have like, it was just like a mess. Like, and I remember standing there and some girl went behind the thing and just stole the shit. Like stole what she needed from like a different bar and brought it over to like whatever so that she could get her shit and like go. But then on top of that, in the package you get food. You get like food vouchers or whatever, right? So there's like all the food trucks. And so you go to like the one food truck and they're supposed to have a big, like, you know, one of those silver things that you get like at the Dollarama, I don't know, the trays, they're like, you just throw them out, they're aluminum or whatever. So it's like a big one of those and they have like all these different variety of food you're supposed to get there. So one of the girls that was with us, she goes to that line while we're waiting for the like bottles and stuff, right? She goes to that line, waiting there forever. We already got the bottles and we're like, yo, we don't even know where to go, like into our booth, because she had all the information. So we're just like standing there like waiting. And then eventually I guess she responded. And so we go over to our booth and all of a sudden, and mind you, this girl's like really small, like 5 foot, like super thin. She comes like running with this big tray. We're like, bless, food's here. She was like, I literally stole this. She was like, I just went up, like snatched it and I ran back here because she was like, the line was so long and it wasn't moving. And she was like, I was waiting that whole time. She was like, I just went there and I snatched it and I ran.
This is the thing, like when I go to
God.
parties or events in this city and it says free food or free drink,
You know you're probably not gonna
that
get
is
it.
not true. It's free food that's here. If it's done, it done.
Yeah, free food.
It's free drink that's here when it done. And we can't control the line, and we're not gonna give you multiple lines. Nope, you're gonna all stand in the one line for everything. Like,
And to be honest, now that I think about it, Dr. J did make an announcement after that event and said like he apologized, and if there was a group that wasn't able to get what they needed and they paid, like to reach out to him and he would accommodate and stuff like that, because he did say that there was like issues with food, and so a lot of people didn't get their food and stuff like that. And
but at least he took accountability.
He was like, it was brought to my attention, so he said it like the next day. I seen him post about it.
At least he took accountability and gave an actual plan of what's gonna happen moving forward, not just leaving people in limbo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And
then give them 50% off for the next year.
We'll get into that. But Kultureland, when I got there and I seen like everything that was happening, people showed me the videos. Then all of a sudden, people just started fainting. Just 1, 2. You're just seeing people pointing at people in the audience in between songs, and
because again,
they had to
really
stop
hot.
like every 5 minutes and be like, "Yo, security, we need to get somebody over there." To the point where they had gotten security to get people so many times that The host is on stage saying, security, we need another, because another person dropped.
And there's
no security to come get the person. They have to wait like the next 5 minutes to come get this person. And then they start dashing waters out into the crowd. And I'm like, bro, if I want to come up on a lick, all I have to do is take one of these bottles of water to the face right now.
Yeah.
Because this is very dangerous. Like, one girl apparently got hit in the eye. I don't know the full story on that, or if it was true, but her friend said to one of the hosts that one of the bottles hit her in the eye, and she went to the ambulance, but she's okay, and just a whole bunch of next stuff. But it seemed very dangerous at one point, because I'm taking into account the security that I just walked past, seeing how many of them, and seeing how many people there are. I'm like, bro, all it takes is 4 black people to run in one direction right now,
and it's a
and this whole concert's mash up.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
It's over.
It's a wrap. Let one man step on the wrong man's shoes right now, and it's gonna get very dangerous, because there's nowhere to go.
Thrown,
yeah,
there's nowhere to go.
Everybody's
in
pushed
between
up and shit like that.
In between the audience and the VIP is this one little weird aisle of grass, and people are in there, and that's caged off.
Yeah.
So people are opening the cage to go in between that, and I'm like, yo, if something happens in there right now,
I don't like this cage shit. Like, have we not learned from Travis Scott, Astroworld?
Right.
Well, the
you
cages,
know what I mean?
The cages are, I get it, are necessary. It's just
they need to be reinforced in a way where
no,
it's not
listen,
even that.
They're
It's
not
even
necessary.
that.
It's the people, the promoters, who want to have section things. They want to have a VIP. They want to have a general admission. They want to have blah, 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 blah. They want to make the most money.
Exactly.
So it's really not necessary for when you're out in these fields and shit like that. Let everybody, like, sure, block off the greater area or whatever. But
if you're going to have VIP, it's very simple. We just saw it in the pandemic at the same Soca events, where you have these little sections that are ringed off that you can station in various parts of the concert,
and
where people are having an elevated deck, where they're having their own people, they're guarded, their tables guarded, their seats
so they
guarded.
took it down there at Markville?
It wasn't there. They weren't there. So
I thought that they would have still done it. It made sense.
It's probably an option.
It was like a good way to organize everybody, you know? And then they had a general mission. But like, this whole fence shit is for the fucking birds. If you guys are outside and there's no real like order to everything, and especially being outdoor festivals, there's always something with outdoor festivals. It's not like you're going to Scotiabank Arena, you know? Like, that shit doesn't really happen in arenas. It's always outdoor. Get rid of all these little section off things. Do you know what I mean? Because it's dangerous at this point.
You don't even need to necessarily get rid of it. It's how you do it. Why is the first 70 feet of the stage, from the stage, VIP? I'm the core fan, the real, like, I feel as general admission, like, I'm the real fan, and I'm so far away from the entire show.
Yeah, general admission is usually
on
at
top
the
of
front.
that. And like, to have people who are general admission stand behind VIP is so condescending in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
like,
know,
why am I staring at the back of these fucks that paid a little bit more?
I agree. The VIP should be peppered around. It should never be the main front section. Like,
no, so every festival I went to, Life is Beautiful in Vegas, and for that, like, on the main stage, everybody was like, it's general admission. First come, first serve. Like, to the closer you get, whatever.
Yeah.
But for VIP section, they literally built out this like tiered area that had bars specifically for the VIP and like media or whatever, whoever had access there. It was like built out to the point where it was like an activation. They had fake grass, they had like all these chairs, all these like
sick
like games and stuff, and then it's like it was multiple floors so that you could choose to stand up at the top and watch the concert, or you could like be on the main ground and watch the concert. And it wasn't necessary, like, it was on the sides of the things. It wasn't even that close to you. It wasn't like front row.
Sides,
like,
that's where the VIPs usually are, on the sides.
Like, people who go and pay for VIP, I feel like they're not there to be in the pit, and they're not there to jump up and down and mash and like all that other shit. They're like, they pay the VIP to have something more exclusive, to have less people,
more convenience,
to have more convenience, to be able to go into lines and like not wait for hella long, and to have a different experience than the person that's GA who
Yeah.
wants to get like down and dirty type vibes.
Yeah.
Because I have no problem with you pricing your VIP for whatever, as much as you want. If people pay it, they pay it. That's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to then accommodate to the standard of which you're setting. If you, especially if you're saying 5 and 10K, if you're saying 5 and 10K
There
and
has
people are
to be a
getting
stark
VIP,
difference.
there has to be an elevated experience. There has to be something like what you're
Yeah.
saying, where there's like, it seems like you're in an activation. It's sponsored by Red Bull or Budweiser, whoever it is,
Okay,
where
so-
they can give you an elevated experience where you're not, like you said, you have your own washroom, you have your own bar that you can go to. You don't have to wait in these lines, and you don't have to do all the things that people who paid significantly less than you.
You shouldn't be
Are
using the
doing.
same stalls as the GA.
There's no reason that my body should touch the same toilet rim as you.
Shouldn't have to wait for in those porta potties. Like
Yeah,
you should have one of
porta
those.
potties allowed.
Those
Yeah,
ones
indoor
like
one with a key. Like, yo, give me that key. Let me go inside, bro.
Personal joint.
Got a little music playing, painting.
You know what the problem is, and it's the theme of all these festivals. OVO doesn't count because OVO is like a different beast in
Yeah.
itself. Is that these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't hire
People
like,
that know that what they're doing.
these people have an idea, great idea. They don't know how to execute.
Right.
They act like they know how to execute, but they don't. And they don't hire the people that do know how to execute. Like there are literally people in this city that you have no clue even exist, but they are seasoned like event organizers
Yeah.
who think about all of these logistics and make sure that everything is together. Like, yo,
Far
if you
ahead of
really
time.
want to do something at this level, like at a grand scale and make it successful, like hire the right people.
Exactly.
Stop
Like-
cutting corners.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that simple. You
They
don't.
ju- they
You're
wanted
too
the
busy
money.
on trying to make a profit instead of trying to produce a quality product.
And
especially for a
realistically-
festival, you should be losing money first
And
year.
I was gonna say, in your inaugural season, for sure, you're not making like
How?
you're not
You're
doing
putting.
that.
This is an
Drake-
investment for future shit.
Drake said his first year he had to pay so much fucking money
Out
he
of his own
didn't
pocket.
make anything.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't him doing it. Like I'm sure he maybe makes money now. Like
You gotta
maybe
find
not.
a way to scale.
But like
You gotta find a way to
you
scale.
have to start somewhere, and it's like yo, like have the capital, figure out ahead of time like how you're going to raise enough funds or whatever to pay the people that can actually do the work.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend, she's from here, but she lives in the States. We work together in Detroit. She's a little older. She, like when she's planning events at this scale, like it's crazy how much work she puts in. And
lot.
she has like these big binders for the event where it's like everything possible.
Yeah.
Every little thing and like contingency plans for if this thing messes up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And stuff always messes up.
Always.
Nothing
no matter
is
how much you
ever going to be
prepare.
perfect.
inevitable.
Yeah.
The fan might think it was the most perfect experience, but people in the back are stressed the fuck out. That's just how it goes. You
You
know
got
what
an
I mean?
event guy right here who's been and seen
Fuck
it
no.
all. Like this, he makes things from nothing when it comes
But-
to events, and
but
even
Norm,
he
if
has
you-
contingency plans.
If you
for some of these
decided
places.
that you wanted to do a festival, because you haven't done that, you've done smaller, like, you know what I mean? Like, would you do it yourself or would you hire somebody that has experience doing a fucking festival?
I would, of course, I'd hire somebody. Like I come from the Manifesto Festival, so that's my
Yeah.
background, and I've seen people that don't necessarily have the exact not skills but experience to put on a large festival, but I still saw them execute. But it required a shitload of volunteers
And dedication.
dedication, countless
Yeah.
hours, a lot of fuck ups. But at the end of the day, there was a certain level of cohesion within a large group of, it's like this large collective of people chipping in and make sure it works out.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the same plan.
Yeah.
Like, they all had, like, or one goal, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And they made sure to always have lots of volunteers.
Yeah.
So like that always helped out.
Yeah, you
But
need a team. You can't do it on your
You can
own.
never
Yeah.
do things on your own. And I for some reason I could picture them being like, all right, this is how much it's gonna cost. This is how many people we could sell to. this is how much we can make. Let's do it.
But it's like
That's all they thought of.
a festival of this magnitude that you're trying to pull off.
Yeah.
No major sponsor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that was very telling to me. How's there no like major
There's always a
corporate
sponsor.
sponsor backing the
There's
festival?
always sponsors.
There's always, and if you're doing a festival, that's easy as shit to get sponsors. It's way harder to get it for smaller shows.
Yeah.
You're talking about a festival and you add Burna Boy's name to that. What sponsor is not coming calling with thousands and thousands of dollars for you?
Absolutely.
An activation, a couple of VIP area perks, and all these different things that you could pull off.
And it's the first of its kind.
And it's like I there's just so much that was
There's so much that people
overlooked.
don't actually know,
yeah.
and they just act like they know everything.
Everybody wants to
You
look
know?
like they're doing something very big.
Everybody
without
wants to do
just
something.
Doing the fucking work.
Sometimes just like doing a regular job is really fucking okay. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you don't have to be the one to like
Stick to
pave the
quinceañeras.
way. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I just feel
My thing is
We
like
need more security guards.
Yeah.
apparently
We need some bigger bodies.
my thing is like, yo, like I hate how this just is gonna pan out for other people's events and how it's gonna make other people's events. Listen, I'll say this: Burna Boy saved the night. Burna Boy came out, gave an incredible performance. You were there? So this guy's just like,
He was like, yeah, best fucking
guy went,
performance.
it
in my
was
fucking
wow.
life.
From what I've heard, from the clips I that boy was killing TikTok.
The
But
timeline.
Burna Boy murdered it. He's an incredible performer.
So imagine, just
Incredible.
imagine
What could have been possible?
if
Everything went smooth.
it was his regular ass tour. Because you know he was coming here regardless.
Well, there's a thing. It's like he stepped on the
Yes,
stage,
he's on tour.
and it was like the Men in Black memory thing happened to all of us. Everybody just
didn't
said
give a fuck.
fuck it.
Yeah.
And
We're
we just
here already.
Yeah, it's like might as well make. You know how Black people are. Make
The best
the
out
best
of
out
nothing.
of what we're in right now.
Yeah.
And so Burna Boy came out. He absolutely bodied it. The man doesn't stop dancing, breath control on 1,000,000, singing nonstop, singing a cappella, talking, busting jokes. He's just an all around. Like the man looked like a vet, bro.
Yeah.
It was just remarkable to watch. And then, of course, the moment we were all waiting for, that Tony Ensing beat dropped, and you see every phone in the place went like this, just praying popcorn would come out the back. And Burna Boy went off and stood to the side behind the speaker, and I'm like, yup. I was like, yup.
Come in.
There it is. Popcorn just runs out. The place, I never heard
You're up.
people that loud in a long time. Like it
Yeah.
was loud, and that was the best performance. He should have. I don't know why he didn't keep that as till like the second last song, because after that, like not even could hold up to that moment. Like it was so big of a moment. First time they're ever performing the song. We're getting to see it in this fuck shit. And what's it called? After that, he did like a couple more songs. He did and then he did Last. As soon as I heard Tony Braxton's voice, I was like, all right, babe, let's go. Start walking to the car immediately. I was like, I'm not gonna be in whatever hell this
That's
turns
gonna-
into
yeah.
after that song is done. We are gone. The whole booth, we are out. People are there going, last, just dancing. We're just walking out dancing the other way. Got home in 20 minutes. I was like, mwah,
Nice.
mwah. Other people I'm hearing 3 hours, 2 hours, because it's like one lane. I realized when we were driving in,
It's
there's
just like-
one lane in, one lane out.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like there's some multiple lane thing. Even on the street, when you get on the street, it's one lane.
Yeah.
So I'm
Just
like, nah.
country roads.
I'm like, this is giving me rebel vibes. I'm not doing this shit. That street's giving me nightmares. I'm not doing it with this.
Even
that
to get
was
out
the
of
last song?
OVOFest was so annoying too.
I could imagine.
I felt like a sardine.
That's what
I was just like
like
this. I was like thank God I'm so tall. My head is above everybody else.
That's what
I
it
know
felt
somebody
like.
caught COVID just sitting in the fucking.
Walking out of Budweiser is the longest experience in the
It's
world.
horrible.
And all it takes is 2 minutes of a difference. If you leave 2 minutes earlier, you go skate out of there.
Or leave, or just like chill in your seat for a little bit. That's what I wanted to do, but then I like got so overwhelmed. I moved a little, and then there was apparently puke under the seat that I was standing in, and I was wearing my Obsidian Jordan.
I knew she thought of her kicks
and
immediately.
some guy was like, "Your shoe, there's throw up." He's like, "Don't want you to mess up your shoe," and I like panicked.
He
And
started
then
walking.
like people were trying to come out at the same time, and then there was a girl. Shout out to her. She listens to. She was like, "Extra gravy, extra gravy, extra gravy." I listened to extra gravy, and I was like, "My shoes."
And then you got caught up in the current. You ever get caught up in the current
And
of people?
next thing, I'm a fucking sardine. Like, I
When you
wanted
get caught
to
up-
wait.
When you
I
get
wanted
caught
to
up in that
wait.
current of people moving, and you're like, "Oh, I guess we're going this way now."
Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was
man.
Cultureland Day 1.
Cultureland Day 1. I mean, I gotta
That's
shout
just the
out.
first
I gotta
little
shout
bit.
out MC Ebone and Femi. They really held down the crowd in those times. I know what it's like to be a host that has to improvise and stall. Shout out to DJ Tunes as well, Wixkid's DJ. He did an incredible job. The dancers that came out and entertained for a bit
Heard
while
the
we were
dancers
waiting.
didn't get paid.
I heard that too. I heard that too,
That's a common thing with dancers, though.
which is unfortunate.
Not
Dancers
that's a
just get
normal or
shit
a
for
good
free.
thing.
They dance for free all the time. They just love dancing so much that they don't care.
Shit. But yeah, they killed it. I mean, Burna Boy's performance really saved the night. Because honestly, if for any reason that man didn't come or he just didn't give us a good performance, they would have turned that place over. Oh yeah, it was heated in there. So then now the next day comes.
So this is a Sunday when all the other festivals.
Yeah.
So OVO and Cultureland Day 1 were on the same day.
Yeah. And I got to point out as well, which is, it's interesting, Boots and Hearts Festival was
It was
this
the whole weekend, yeah.
Boots and Hearts Festival is like it's
country.
It's like
Country
It's like White Rolling Loud
Yeah.
for country music in Canada.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shania Twain, headliner.
Was she? Nice.
I was kind of mad I didn't go after I saw it. I was like, man, I feel
wish
like a
I knew.
woman.
I didn't even know that like Boots and Hearts was like this weekend or whatever.
It's usually
I love
the same
Shania.
weekend as Caravana, which I find very interesting.
And they try to get all the whites out.
Trying to get all the whites separated, all the blacks separated, huh? No
Sounds
cops up in Coburg, is there? Yeah.
You know, talking about Shania Twain real quickly, she has a documentary on Netflix right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the, like, within the first couple of minutes, you actually see my mom in it. I went to watch it. No clue that this was happening. I went to watch it. I didn't even end up watching it. I got so hyped.
Hyped that your mom was in there?
You're on Netflix.
How the hell was she on it?
So she works for like Scotiabank Arena, and she, if you guys know me, like you'll run into, or if you go to Gate 2 at any event, my mom is usually there.
Right.
And she runs like the elevators and stuff like that. So I guess for that event, Shania was coming from like the back, you know, and on her stage.
Oh, okay.
And so my mom had to like hold the elevator. So you see Shania like walking through these doors and like going to the elevator. And I was like,
You're like, is that gay too?
yeah. When she was walking through the doors, I was like, oh, that's like, I know this area
That's where my
because
mama work.
like I used to work in that same area too. So I'm like, oh, I know what that is. I'm like, that looks like Scotiabank. And then it's getting closer to the elevator. I was like, is that my mom? And she's like in the elevator, just like. And I
Was she
showed her,
fangirling,
and
like,
she like,
low-key?
no.
Miss Twain.
She's just like smiling, kind of
Okay.
like a little smirk, because she can't say anything.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk to artists or
Yeah.
athletes or whoever, right? And so yeah, it's just like really awkward. She's like holding the elevator for her, and she's not supposed to say like anything. And then there's a camera there, and then I showed it to her. And she
That's
was like,
sick.
wait.
That's
she was
sick.
like, this was so long ago.
That is so sick. Shout out to Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix documentaries, very, very convenient week for Woodstock 99 to come out.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that too.
Wow.
99.
What?
But that's what I was gonna say.
Coinky dink.
We're talking about all these messed up festivals, Firefest 2, but then no one knows how bad Woodstock.
Well,
was.
everybody knows
now they know.
Woodstock 99 was a fucking
Just
shit
watching
show.
the preview, I was like, "Holy
This looks like
shit,
Iraq. I was like, God damn.
It looks like
remember
fucking
when it
hell.
was
Shit
happening.
burning."
I remember when it was.
I
happening.
actually remember seeing it on the news. I was
Right?
like 9 years old. I don't know what the fuck's happening, but I remember seeing.
Limp Bizkit, Anthony, Red Hot Chili Peppers, DMX. Like, it was crazy, but I remember all the mud.
Bush.
All the people.
You were there?
No, I wasn't there. I just remember.
I remember all the people.
He's pulling a Mac. Oh yeah. I saw it.
Because it was such, it was such a big deal. Woodstock was such a big thing. And for
Yeah,
it
it
to be
was.
the return, and then hip hop being added to the mix, like it was a really, really big covered thing. And then the fact that it was raining and you see all these people mudsliding, it just looked crazy.
I think the fact that it was 1999 played a huge factor in a lot of it.
too. Yeah.
I think there was
Everybody
such an
thought the world was gonna
apocalyptic,
end.
there was such an apocalyptic
Party like
feel
it's
to everything,
1999.
and like party like it's 1999. Like it was just such a peak moment of like just carelessness. Like you're seeing it throughout that entire documentary. Like, but they kind of like I said, there are things you can do to prevent certain things, and you can create a certain attitude
Yeah.
based on set list, artist, the venue, what it looks like, how you present it, the lighting. Like there's so many things that go into it. The part where they talk about Fred Durst getting them hyped up.
Yeah.
And then going in and realizing what he's doing, and then he jumps into the crowd and gets them even more hyped up. Little things like that, like
But
you
here's
have
the
to
thing about
foresee
that.
that's gonna happen before you, and schedule him out in a proper space where it's like Bush should have been on right before Fred Durst,
But
not
yo.
another corn who's gonna hype them up out of control, and then you get Limp Bizkit who's on top of the world at that point
Yeah.
to come out and hype them up even more.
No, so you know how they passed out the candles and whatnot.
Yeah.
right? So they
Horrible
they
idea.
passed out all these candles to like light in commemoration of this milestone anniversary for Woodstock, and then that's what ends up starting the fire. But while they're blaming Fred Durst, people forget that Anthony Kiedis and Red Hot Chili Peppers started singing "Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire," and that even encouraged them even more to just like. Fire!
The nigga's out there
Pyrotechnics, let's go.
guitaring naked with his dick flailing.
Yeah.
That was wild times.
That's
wild.
what Red Hot Chili Peppers did. They just wear socks in their dicks and just perform.
And it just looks such a dangerous place for women. Like I can't think of
People
a
were
more
getting raped
dangerous.
left to right at that one.
Someone got raped in the middle of the audience in a truck. While everyone's partying around this truck. Remember the part where the truck comes in and they're like, we got to get the truck out of here.
Yeah.
When Fatboy Slim was DJing, and the guy goes to the truck and looks inside, and the guy's
Pulling down
buckling his pants up, and a girl's lifeless on the ground in front of him. And he's like, I was mortified. Like,
Jeez.
to think that that's happening there's thousands of people here. And not one person knew what was happening in that moment. And then all the dark areas, because this is a big base that they're on, big army base. All these dark areas with tents where women were flashing their titties just hours before in the daylight. You got drunk, entitled young white men who are just fucking losing their mind off the music already.
Yeah.
Then they're doing drugs on top of that. It was just a perfect storm for fuckery. That whole place. And the joke is, for years, the only thing I knew about Woodstock 99 was that DMX clip where he's in the red overalls. And I'm like, yo, do you know how important racism was in that moment? DMX had 2 number 1 albums that year. Okay? 2 number 1 albums. The year before, sorry. He's the biggest artist there outside of Red Hot and Limp Bizkit. And he's playing in the daytime because he's a black guy. If that man played at night,
Stop!
and they said stop, drop it. Oh my God! People would have died. People would have died.
And then they would have blamed it on a black man.
Yo, up in here. That would have. Oh my God! I couldn't imagine. Like, and that video has gone viral for so many years because everybody's like, "Yo, it looked like every human being on the planet was there because it's so much people." Craziness, just craziness. So the Kultureland Day 2. Day 2 comes. I'm coordinating with the cameraman because I'm doing artist interviews and shit.
Yo,
and
I wanted to tell you so like.
I had no idea what was going on.
I don't even want to attempt to go.
I had no idea.
Because that was my vibe
was
from
happening.
Time. I just didn't think.
You gotta tell me the vibes from Time from now on.
I'm sorry. I just like.
Tell me the vibes from Time from now on. All right, I want to know the vibes as soon as you feel the vibes.
I was like, sometimes people gotta learn on their own. Like,
I don't want to learn on my own. I hate learning on my own.
I didn't. All I knew was to wait for your words. Like if you guys come, let's go. But
Day 2, I
like,
coordinate with the cameraman. About probably 5 minutes later, someone hits me. Yo, Kultureland's canceled. I'm like,
what?
I said, huh? What you mean canceled? I'm like, automatically, I was like, okay, this is not far-fetched. Based on what I saw yesterday, it's not far-fetched. But what's the reason? I hear, Markham Fairgrounds didn't get paid for the event, which struck me as very odd, first of all. How do you not even collect a deposit before an event? Huh? You're waiting on money day of? Huh? So Markham Fairgrounds, you're in question too, but they basically said that Markham Fairgrounds wasn't paid, and so they were scurrying to find a new venue. At that point,
they moved it to Ajax Downs.
It had not been announced that it was moved, and or canceled until I think an hour before scheduled time. So
wasn't it like pushed back? Didn't they push the time back?
They pushed the time back at 3 though. And it was supposed to start at 4. So people are already on buses on the way there. Uber. It's far. You know what I mean? So people are already there.
Yeah.
And people were the ones that let everyone know that the event was canceled. Yeah. Kultureland had not come out with an official statement yet. People were there already and were taking pictures and videos. And saying, we're talking to security here. They're saying there's nothing happening here today. Like, it's canceled. They never paid. They never paid anybody, blah, blah. So then now I'm like, this is a madness, right? Mm-hmm. Around 4 o'clock, I think it was 4 o'clock, right?
4 o'clock when the post went out about,
when the post
we'll give you a half an hour.
We'll give you a half an hour.
Or we'll give you an answer of where we're going in a half an hour.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, it was basically like we found another venue. We'll announce at 4
like 4. They just said in a half hour.
No, they said we're announcing at 4 p.m. where it's gonna be at 4 p.m. or 4:15 or some shit. They say it's at Ajax Downs. So now everybody's like, what? Where? What?
I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've never heard of it.
What is the Downs? Why is Ajax down? So then now people go and realize that it's like 40 minutes away from where it originally was supposed to be, right? I automatically told my cameraman, I'm like, we are not going. Me, I'm staying home. Yeah. Today is on some fuckery already. Yeah. Nope. I'm not leaving my house, right? So I told him we canceled all that good stuff. And then all of a sudden, I think it was 5:30 or 6, somewhere around there. There's an announcement that Fireboy, Stoneboy, Camo, and somebody else, somebody else, were all not going to be in attendance.
Jeez.
Because of visa issues. These are people scheduled for that day, for that concert.
Mm-hmm. And this is information that you have from Time. It's not like you just found out they don't have their visas.
There's no
way
that you're waiting for a visa to clear the day or night of. I'll even give them the night before. I'll even give them the night before. You
did not run the border.
If they did, let's say they were waited the night before.
Yeah.
You didn't say it in the morning? You didn't say it at any point until it was conveniently time for people to arrive? Which means people are already dressed, people are already on the way, people are already in line. Mm-hmm. And that's when they're being told that some of the artists, Fireboy is one of which, has some of the largest songs in the world right now.
Yeah.
And you're not telling people that they're not coming until the day of? Yeah. How do you not figure out visas until the day of? I don't find that possible.
No, so you definitely have to do pre-plan on the visa thing.
Yeah. So then the FireFest talks start. Everyone's like, oh, Canada's FireFest. Here we go. And it just turns into like a watch party on Twitter. Like people were just going ham. More information comes out every 15 minutes. The entertainment didn't stop. Oh, Janae's in Kensington. Show a picture of Janae in Kensington at like 6 p.m.
Just buying crystals.
Shopping, just healing
Buying
crystals,
incense.
I'm like, whoever
And
sent her to
having
Kensington
rasa
knows her well.
Yeah.
So then now, 15 minutes later, yo, why is Western at Wonderland? I said, mid backside. What? Western's at Wonderland.
No.
Fireboy? Why does Fireboy have a show in Nigeria tonight?
He's never coming.
Wow.
I said, hold on. So not only was it canceled for today,
Yeah.
but he booked an entire show in 24 hours. Is that what I'm led to believe?
No, he had no intentions of even coming.
Which means you had, come on, if you're
Did he
booking
ever
a show,
post that he was
you
coming?
had to have known that you weren't, that this person was not going to be here for at least minimum a week. There's no way you announce a show in less than a week. Minimum a week. So that means for a week they knew Fireboy wasn't coming.
And they didn't say a word.
They didn't say a word. Then we find out.
Some real asshole movements.
Then we find out, like, people start showing videos of the stage in the new spot. It's like half the size of the first stage at Markham Fairgrounds. Half the size of the stage. We hear there's already a pan festival happening there.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, wait, there's already a festival happening there?
I was doing comedy like a couple days before in the space, and I'm like, they're really gonna move everything to that small ass Ajax Downs. Like, it's big, but I'm like, if you're moving a full festival like that,
If you're moving Janae Aiko to Ajax, sir, like, yo, so there's this girl, Drippy Car. Shout out Drippy Car one time. Poor
Drippy
thing.
Car.
She had like a Final Destinations type day thing going on. I don't know, man. It just looked like her life was just meant to be cursed that day. She was one of the people that were documenting the entire day on TikTok, and people were just following her story the whole day. And every hour she'd come on. It's 9:30. There's no one. There's still no one on stage. It's just a DJ. And shout out to Tomei. I saw Tomei who went up there. You know, she rocked out with the crowd and she always puts on a great performance. And under those circumstances, like, God bless her for even showing up.
Yeah.
She's a professional. Shout out to her. But yeah, you're just hearing for hours that people are there and not one artist. Be Young is still an artist that is in the city, ready to perform. Western is still artists that are in the city, ready to perform. Miss Banks tweeted, "Sorry guys, change the venue. I just can't even go. I'm gutted. Like I really want to perform here." So Miss Banks is gone now. So now you only have 3 artists left out of the 10 artists that were supposed to be there that day.
Yeah.
3 artists.
Not even the headliners.
Not even, and yeah.
They didn't even know that Janae wasn't coming.
So then now, didn't they? According to the article that the organizer of the event, he did an interview with Toronto Star, Pharrell. He said that at 7 p.m. they found out that there would be no Janae Aiko.
Jeez.
7 p.m. Do you know when they told people?
9.
12 p.m.
12 a.m.
a.m. 12 a.m. is
Damn.
when people found out.
Damn.
You want to hear how they found out?
Twitter picture.
How they found out is the most entertaining part of this whole thing for me.
I'm human just like you're human.
Yeah.
That's Ebon.
Listen, don't worry. I tell you, listen. You think I want to be here? I don't even care. Listen to everybody else. You can do all of that. Listen, me.
Oh man.
I feel for him, yo, because
Ebon,
I know what it's
sorry,
like
bro.
when you're hosting a show
Yeah.
and everyone thinks that you're the guy in charge and you have nothing to do with this. Like, I'm just hosting the show. You don't direct your anger towards me. I'm not the organizer. And then on top of that, I had to deal with all this bullshit all day and stall for these people. You
Yeah.
think I want to be here? That's where you think I want to be here came
I'm
from.
the bad guy.
That's where it came from. It wasn't like, I can get how it sounds disrespectful, though.
It does sound very disrespectful, and it's like you could have like put it in. He could have chose his words better,
Very much
you know,
so.
and
Very much
still articulated what he needed to do.
But I understand.
But I still get it because like when I worked in Detroit, we had like the radio station was, I guess, the sponsor of a concert, right? So it was like their yearly Kiss concert or whatever. But there was a promoter, and the promoter failed to say that one of the acts, I think it was like Blackstreet or something, wasn't showing up. And we found out
on stage
while the show was going.
Wow.
So they sent like whoever it was, like the main people of like some older group didn't show up, but like other people showed up instead. And like we had to share that information. And I remember how pissed off people were in that moment, but then even afterwards, like the comments, because like I had to manage all the comments and shit like that.
You're the face of it now.
Nobody knows it is, but I have to respond to all the comments on the Facebook page, and it's like older people. They just be saying whatever.
They want to see Blackstreet, man. They want to hear the knocking the boots. They want H-Town.
And it's like it really does suck because it's like sometimes you do want to cuss these people out because they need to understand that it's like, yo, sometimes it's not exactly like, don't blame Mason and Coco on the morning show because they didn't have anything to do with it. Yeah. They're just the ones who were supposed to intro him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, don't blame the radio station because we weren't the ones who did it. Like, the real problem is the promoters. But then the promoters are always trying to find
they always hide
an scapegoat.
And scapegoat.
Yeah,
there's always a scapegoat.
they went after like the radio station contacted them and she was like trying to like dodge them and shit like that. And then she was like, yeah, we're just going to handle it. We're not going to do no press, whatever. Next thing you know, she's outside with the cameras talking to like the promoter talking about, oh yeah, it wasn't us and like all that shit. No. So it's like, we're saying, you know, the promoters who are trying to work out something, we're being very cordial, not like completely blaming the promoters, but saying like, you know, we are a sponsor of this, but there were things that were beyond our control. And then she's just like, oh yeah, it wasn't us. But so it goes back to onto the radio station when it really wasn't a radio station.
Listen, especially when it's something of this magnitude, like nobody wants to
be like, yo, I fucked up.
Yeah, nobody wants to take that. And the joke is that if there was accountability up front and beforehand, a lot of this would have been avoided. A lot of people would have understood, asked for the refund regardless, which they were rightfully justified to get, but they would have still been like, thank you for being professional. Thank you for not wasting my day, my money, my gas, my clothes, my makeup, my heels, my feet. Like, people were very angry and rightfully so for everything that occurred at that festival. And for them to, especially at the end, to like get a disgruntled host who's probably already gone through it all day and like he's pissed and he's at his wit's end and he's just like, takes it out like, fuck this. Like, and the joke is like, E-Bone was keeping them alive all night with the DJ. He was the one pumping them up. Yeah. He's on the mic yelling, him and Femi.
He's like, nigga, I don't get paid enough for this.
I mean, this is the thing. It's like,
did he even get paid?
Who gets paid enough for that? What they had to endure?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Who gets paid enough for that? So I have sympathy for E-Bone and Femi. They tried their best, and like when you're a host in those circumstances, you guys don't understand the pressure that it takes to stall angry black people. Yeah. It's very easy to stall angry white people. You could play games, do a little dancing competition. Black people see past all the fucking smoke and mirrors. They want the artist me confesse.
Yeah.
I remember when I was hosting for Manifesto when Chronix was performing, and it was raining, and it was Charlotte Day Wilson. Is that her name?
Charlotte Day Wilson, yeah.
Yeah, she was performing, and it was a long day, and everyone's waiting for fucking for Chronix, and they're like, we don't care for this white gal. Like, where's Chronix? And now it's raining, so they got to do all this shit, switch things up, and I'm on stage trying to buy time, trying to do some jokes, trying to do some announcements.
Yeah.
And the comments that I could hear being slung at me from left to right all through the crowd, just like,
They blame you.
yo, China boy, shut up. Like,
Wow.
just
Racist.
Jesus.
bring out Chronix, man. I
Move
want
right on, Mr. Chin. Yo, these people are
It
ruthless.
was terrible. I was like, well, all right, guys. That was unnecessary. Chronix will be out soon. Let's keep there's kids here, guys. Let's keep the
Let's keep it
mean
PG,
comments
please.
to a minimum.
Crazy.
We're trying to get this done. Oh, but
Great.
damn.
I
Honestly,
can
though,
imagine what they heard when they were on stage on the Sunday. Western came and their mics weren't working at one point. Like they're on stage, literally standing there for like 2 minutes,
Wow.
going like this
Damn.
to the crowd. And they only had they had to make their set like a 5-minute medley. Like it wasn't even like they got to play their tunes out. Like that's a rush through songs and not give the performance. They got on Twitter and apologized, saying that they were really looking forward to this, but the promoters messed everything up. And that stage, from the moment I saw the stage, I already knew Janae was not coming. Because I'm like, someone posted a picture and was like, does the stage look like this? And it was a show she just did in Detroit where it's, come on, super professional. There's thousands of people. It looked like a spectacle. And then you look at this rinky-dink stage,
Yeah.
no lighting, like...
Well, to be fair, that was Big Sean's show.
Regardless, I
No,
think
but, like,
she's done it long enough to be like not have to deal with all that shit.
Before the pandemic, it was it was like March or something like that. She was supposed to come here, and she had like a normal. I'm pretty sure she had like a normal or Phoenix. I think she was supposed to be at like Phoenix Concert Theater or whatever.
But even Phoenix is better. Like lighting and stage is bigger and better than
everything is good.
yeah,
that
no,
stage
but
that
I'm
they're
saying
at.
like she had like a normal
Yeah.
like stage. What they had wasn't even normal, and then that was like.
It wasn't adequate enough for her to perform.
No, but like that was also in 2020, like 2.5 years ago. Like
Yeah.
her last album that she dropped definitely like
She's-
helped
stock
her.
has risen, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So
Not to mention
could-
the association with Big Sean. Like they've joined.
I
audiences.
knew that she wasn't gonna come. I'm surprised she was in the city to be honest. But I knew she wasn't gonna come. Like after the Burna Boy stuff, I feel like it was probably in question.
Of
and
course.
they were like, she was like, let me feel it out. Because she's very pregnant.
Like very, very pregnant.
Nobody wants to be in
Stressful
any type of
situations.
predicament.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but like safety concerns.
Yeah. for
Like,
sure.
I
Even-
wouldn't want to do that. I
Even
don't
to
want
drive 40 minutes out of the way that you were already planned. Like everything has to be planned to a certain degree where
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we know times for this. We got playing at this time. All this and delegate those times. Now when you're up in limbo for half the day, how can you plan anything and make sure that she stays safe?
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I'm like, no, if people are going to be upset over something, start throwing shit. That's not good for
They wouldn't do it if she was there.
No, but
They wouldn't do it if she was. I feel
I
like
don't think people would because I think people love her enough to like, you know, respect her.
Yeah.
But still, like that's still a possibility that shit, like there could be people that just are so pissed off and they do some
Yeah.
shit. Like it was not a safe environment for a very pregnant woman to be.
I was kind of
Period.
hoping that she would get to perform because I've seen her show before. And I'm like, she will heal this crowd. Like, by the time
Everybody
they
needs
leave,
healing.
they will
Everybody
leave.
She's gonna give them a sound bath.
No, dead ass. She does that.
Yeah.
She literally does that during her show. So it's like
Gonna bring out
they
my
would have left a
crystals.
lot more calmer than they left that night
Yeah.
if she had just shown up. And I was hoping it
I
kind of
feel
been like a Burna Boy thing too.
I feel like she would have showed up if she wasn't pregnant.
No, I think she would have showed up if they had kept it at Markham Fairgrounds. Even if she
Yeah.
was pregnant or not pregnant, I feel like if it was still scheduled for the
Yeah.
same place, when you switch venues day of for a
Yeah.
festival,
That
as
switches-
an artist, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not going anywhere.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure she rolls with a full team that already like had things set up.
Wardrobe, hair.
that
Where
space.
can you do wardrobe and hair at Ajax Downs?
You have to come already ready.
Yeah.
That's wild to tell an artist that's this far into their career. That's
Yeah.
insane.
And by the way, by Ajax Downs, everybody was on strike at the parking lots of the community centers, so there's no parking at Ajax Downs. So like people have to park.
It was
Same.
just like not gonna work.
And
out
not to
anyways.
mention the Pan Festival. When people got there, the parking lot was rammed.
Yeah.
There it is.
Just craziness.
There it is.
And the other side of the city.
Going west.
Going west to Downsview Park.
Ah, yes.
All the parks that were down.
Kingston Fest. Another park that was down. Yeah. The parks were down bad. That's what we're going to call this episode. Down bad. Allegedly. Down bad, allegedly. Kingston Fest. What a piece of stress. So the videos coming out same time as the Kultureland videos.
Yeah.
It's just back to back
Like,
fuckery.
no break at all.
No break. All gas.
Just
Oh man.
the fire's getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger, bro.
Oh,
So then
man.
now they showed the first hint of something being wrong at Kingston Fest is a video that drops where you see people rushing a fence and VIP area. So seeing the VIP area set up the same way Cultureland had set it up, I said, yep,
It's happening again.
this seems like it's a problem with the way you're
Everything.
situating everything. Seems like a consistent consensus from the poor people that we will not take this, and rightfully so. If I was there, I'd have kicked it down too. I don't blame people for doing that kind of stuff. I do think it's very dangerous when you have that many people doing it. And you have young women who are
I saw
dropping
that video.
to the ground and
felt
being
And people
so
are just
bad
like
for the
still
girls.
running.
I got anxiety. Like
Yeah.
it kind of like scared me because I can't imagine
hear the
being under.
screams.
Because if you're 10 people back or 5 people back, which was the case
They
of
don't
why the
see none
fence
of that.
even went over in the first place, people shifted over thinking there was another opening in the fence. There's no opening. They closed it up. When they closed it up, the people in the back don't know they closed it up. So they're just walking and pushing. They start walking and pushing. You see the girls in the front go, whoa, whoa. They're trying to keep everyone back, get pushed over. Now, if you're 10 people back, you don't even know anybody dropped.
Yeah.
So you're still trying to push. Now you're pushing forward even quicker because you're trying to be one of the people that get in before they close this gate up, maybe.
Yeah.
So now you're pushing even more and people are just stepping on you.
Yeah. People die.
Non-stop. Like people, legit.
That's
people
like one of
died.
my fears.
On Black Friday, there was that person that died being stampeded going into a store. Like
In a club one
it's
time.
never that serious. Like it's never that serious where you need to be pushing women to get into somewhere. Like it was crazy to me. Aside from that, the fact that they did that fuckery with the VIP stage and spanned it out 100 feet where people couldn't even get over there, you deserve it.
Right.
You deserve it. You don't do that to people. Like, what do you think this is?
Yeah.
Especially to Jamaicans. Are you people sick?
Yeah.
So then now that topple over, VIP turn off, everything freak up.
Yeah.
In doing so, apparently, allegedly, then pop out the wire. The sound for the speakers is unplugged. Wires are out.
Because of the people.
Because no, not because of the people. Right back to the festival organizers. Who leaves exposed wires out at a festival? Please enlighten me. Who's never heard of those tarmac things that you strips that you click together where the wire runs through underneath?
it.
They're covered. Yeah.
And it's going down the middle. You're not going that far. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
It's a very simple fix.
It's supposed to be a part of the costs.
So then now we hear that. All right, cool. An hour later, no water. It's 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. on one of the hottest days of the year.
And weren't they telling people
There's
not
no
allowed
water.
to bring your water bottle?
Oh, yes. You can't bring water bottle in there. No, you got to buy theirs.
Yeah.
Buy theirs that don't exist.
So
and then on top of
That's
that,
like
Don't bring
super
a-
illegal too. Like, you know what I mean?
It gets better. Allegedly,
Yeah.
they were pouring out water to
At the
pour
front.
in alcohol to sell the alcohol.
Oh my God. So that's where all their water went.
Allegedly.
They were pouring out
Allegedly.
water.
Allegedly pouring out water to pour in alcohol to sell the alcohol. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
They were
I don't know.
using water in the alcohol bottles. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
They were
They
putting
poured out the
alcohol.
water and poured in alcohol to sell the alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the opposite. I thought they were putting water in the alcohol
That
bottles.
would be incredible. That probably would have been made people kind of happy. But no. And then obviously more VIP issues that there's people posting pictures. $1,000 for VIP, and it's 2 girls standing beside their bucket with ice with the bottle on the ground in the grass.
Wow.
$1,000 to stand in the grass. So there's that.
I'd be so mad.
So then now, a couple hours later, people are like, yo, where are the artists?
Yeah.
What's going on?
They were here.
Like, we know they're in the city. What is going on?
Yeah.
Put them on the stage. We're tired of all these other acts. We're tired of all these DJs. Run the artists. Artists come on stage. Nobody can hear them. Only the people in the very front. And I mean, like, give it, 10 people back? You can't hear shit. You've seen the videos. People are posting videos in real time going, we can't hear. And you're hearing people chant, we can't hear. We can't hear. Then the we can't hear just turned into, boo, suck your mother, pussy hole. Just nonstop. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm watching Sensia on stage. She looks like she's going ham. You don't hear a word. I'm just like, bro.
Damn.
Skilly gets on stage. You don't hear no wop wop.
It makes you feel like you
Not
went
a
deaf.
single wop. Not one wop. Dog. And then now, so then that happens, and I think people are like, yo, Popcorn is taking long to come out. The rumors start flying that Drake showed up. Burna Boy showed up, saw the fuckery and left. And I'm like, this is crazy. Then the video comes out after Popcorn goes on stage and everything. Video comes out of what backstage looked like. And you're just seeing beer man back there. Beer man. Couple girls here and there, but there's a lot of people, period. Yeah. That you're like, this should not be this many people backstage at any, especially not when Popcorn's about to go on the stage. How is this area not cleared?
Yeah.
Not that many people should have access to that
Craziness,
space.
bro. The man's walking through, you see a man's push women out the way to dap him up. I'm like, is this where we're at?
The lack of shit.
Is this where we're at, brother? This is crazy.
No rot-ups.
That's not safe. No wonder Burna Boy and Drake didn't want to.
Fam, Popcorn got on stage and said, yo,
give your money back.
People them need to fix up. Them people that come here with them hard-working, independent money, and don't come with this fuckery.
Yeah.
The man cussed them stink.
Give them a refund.
Rightfully so. Yeah, I said they should. He went on Instagram, I guess, when he got to his hotel, and he was like, "Oh, forgive the people them refund," because everybody's screaming for their refund at that point. Majority of people had not heard any artists. The only time they fixed the sound was when Popcorn actually got on stage, and by then you're already livid. You missed how many artists, and it's like,
and big
for something
artists,
such
too.
a simple fix as wires popping out. You guys, for 6 hours, did not realize that wires were out? 6 hours. That's insane. Where's the sound tech? Where's the sound staff? Like, what's happening, bro? So then now, people come home. Everybody's home now from Kingston Fest and Kultureland. And everyone's just trying to do investigative work. Yo, who ran these? Nah. You're just seeing bear that down the timeline. Everyone's trying to find the organizers. People start finding organizers, start posting their social medias. People they think are organizers. People who are not. People who are. And it was just madness for like.
Will the real organizers please stand up?
Madness
Those
for
guys
24
had
hours.
All
man.
their voice messages full, phones off. You know, those
Of
guys
course.
are hiding.
Bro, it was just crazy. And I would hide too, honestly, because like, yo, I was trying to fathom the amount of like stress and anxiety I would be under if I knew this many people were mad at me and something I created. I would never create anything again. You'd never see me host anything again. You probably never see me again.
Be like gone.
I honestly would
Gone.
move.
Disappear for a while.
I
Resurface
honestly
in
would
like
move.
2 years.
Yeah, no. I'm dead ass moving.
Move to Vancouver.
I'm
Try this
getting-
all over again with the whites.
I'm getting facial reconstructive surgery.
It's gonna be face off. You
Yeah,
guys ever see that?
facts. Straight Nicolas
Jeez.
Cage. So then now the next day,
Wait, you forgot about Jerkfest. Then we
wait.
see Jerkfest. Jerkfest talking about there's
charging
no
mad
food.
people for mad money for food, and then there's no food, and then there's it's just yo.
They ran out of jerk at Jerkfest.
My mom's like, "Oh, you guys should have went to
move. We can't
Jerkfest."
forget.
I was like, "Why? So we have no food?"
So we can't forget when they announced that Janae was not going to be there. It was like 12 something.
Yeah.
They sent out the statement 12 something. Unfortunately, our headliner for tonight will not be able to perform. As we all know, today has been wild sequence of events. However, it is our intention to give you the best experience we can offer despite the circumstances. While we are currently underway with day 2, the show will go on without our headliner, Janae Aiko. The show was done, by the way.
Yeah. Isn't she supposed to be the last person?
We are truly sorry and wish we could have presented you with the Janae Aiko performance you deserved. Her show required a level of visuals that we could not have technically produced in a short period of time. The best decision was not to reduce the quality and of her performance, grammar errors, and aim to give you the full experience at a later date. Thank you to everyone that has attended this weekend, and we look forward to having you again. It's the having you again.
Again, you really think there's gonna be another again?
That man said in the Toronto article, the Toronto Star article, that he looks forward to a much smoother year 2. He's very confident in a much smoother year 2.
He's gonna have to rebrand, create something totally new, and just scrap Cultureland altogether.
Yeah, Code Red need to turn to Code Blue.
If this is year
Black,
one,
cold black, cold
black.
black.
if this is year one, no need for year 2 with this one. Let that one
Maybe
go.
spell
Start
culture with a
something
C.
Yeah.
Cultureville. Culture Crescent.
Yeah,
Maybe.
It's yeah.
What else? How else can he rebrand and come back? I know how Kingston Fest is going to be Portmore Fest next year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be rodeo promo. It's going to be a cowboy promo. It's going to be all rebranded, and you're all going to still go. This is the thing. This is the problem. You're all going to go.
The Kingston Fest was reminding me of what's that party? Sands.
Sands, yeah.
It
was in the parking lot
a few years ago, like before
Yeah,
COVID.
I remember that
It
parking
was
lot one.
the parking lot one, the one where people were getting
yeah.
stamped.
They had to
stampeded and
they had
shit.
to
right?
change locations that day too. That's the
Yeah.
same party that had to change locations day of, and it ended up in a parking lot.
There
People
was
were
a
like,
shooting.
"I paid VIP to be in a parking lot." In like Woodbine.
Yeah, there was a shooting.
And there was a shooting. Yeah,
It was a lot.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Yo, for all 3 of these things to happen on the same day, like every organizer for each one of them must have been like, whew, thank God that other one
wasn't
happened.
me. It wasn't just me.
Thank God that other one happened.
It was something in the air. It was something in the air.
It
And then
offset so much shit for people.
And then I seen people at apartment 200, and there was a fire inside apartment
Drippy
200.
car. Drippy car once again. Drippy car, the same girl that was documenting the whole day. She goes to apartment 200. It
there's
catches
a
on fire.
Like
It catches
big
on fire. They had to
Yeah.
evacuate it for a bit and then bring people back in. But most people just said, I'm going home.
Yeah, you
Today
should.
has-
This is enough.
Today
You
has
should.
defeated me. I lose. You win.
Everybody go to bed. Woosah.
We'll try this again tomorrow.
We'll try to do life again.
Dog.
Not even tomorrow. Give it a couple of days. Everybody just stay in bed. Call out of work, everything. Like we don't, something's going on. Something's in the water. We don't need to do anything.
But between this weekend and all the other stuff that happened like months before, like what else? There was something else.
The
that got
Rogers is what
canceled.
started this
Yeah.
entire thing. When the Rogers started the weekend cancellations,
canceling.
everything fell down after
Justin
that.
Bieber canceled.
Yep.
Who else canceled?
Drake.
Shawn Mendes
Shawn
recently.
Mendes
Shawn
canceled.
Mendes. We are
Jesus.
cursed. For
There's
sure.
been a
Nuke
lot.
is on the block.
I am.
My mom is like supposed to wear Kendrick Lamar, and she was like, "If that even happens."
Oh.
Like,
Wow. But I see
Come
that
on.
sentiment being said about a lot of different things, like Kendrick Lamar, Manifesto. And like
I see
there are
people-
certain things that have such like seniority, like they've been around, they've done this. Like Manifesto is not a show you're gonna have to worry about. with any of these things. Like
Well-
they've been doing it for years, and I personally know some of the team that's put this together, and they've done a great job so far. And I can't. Plus, it's at Budweiser, which is fully staffed. They're not have to worry about security, none of that other shit. All they have to do is put on a great show, and you got so many unbelievable Toronto artists that are on the bill. You got Division, who's replacing Thames.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great night.
Because they realized that they couldn't get a visa ahead of time.
Well, see,
and
they
told
made,
us.
See, they corrected that mistake.
And they told us when it
And
happened.
then replaced with somebody who is just as good and
Exactly.
maybe even
has a larger
a
audience.
little bit bigger.
They have a larger audience. They've been out for much longer.
Yeah.
So like they
And it
and
fits
they
the
have one of
Toronto
the
mandate.
most talked about songs right now, regardless of if you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's the most discussed. People are remaking it, much to my disgust.
It's better though that it's Division, just because Manifesto is supposed to represent Toronto artists.
Yeah.
So
And
it worked out.
Do you think that with Manifestos supporting Toronto artists, does that mean to you guys that Toronto artists should be getting paid big numbers just because?
Well, I don't think that they don't need to get big numbers. Like, let's be realistic. How much money is a non-profit organization really getting? They are getting grants and stuff.
How
so
much
they
of the guys,
should use that money to go back into the pockets of Toronto people. But obviously they have to pay headliners a decent amount.
The majority of the pie.
But they
which is
should.
not
I feel like they
unrealistic.
should also make sure that everybody is covered. I don't think that people should be paying, like,
or
you know,
performing for free.
I don't think they should be performing for free, and I don't think they should be paying
To perform.
organization. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
they're doing that, but I've seen that in the past.
Until
Pay
I
to
see
play?
somebody
Yeah, that
come out and
happens.
say
Yeah.
something otherwise, I'm gonna go with the fact that they're all getting paid.
They're fine with whatever they're
perfectly
getting.
fine. And like when you think about the look, like I know we talk about the whole exposure thing, but majority of these artists are not 10 years deep into the game at all. They're fairly young artists that are
Yeah.
new in the game. This exposure is incredible. The footage of this is gonna look great for you
That's
when
what
you're
you get-
submitting it to try and get into other festivals. The
that's
fact
a
that
big
you
part of it.
Yeah.
Just the big part of your pay is the fact that you're getting.
It also helps
have
when
your
you're
name within that marquee
on the
artist.
same bill as like Jasmine
also-
Sullivan,
It
Grammy
also
Award winner.
helps when they're submitting for grants here,
Yeah.
because they have to write like bios and
Yeah.
put together like key highlights of their careers.
It's a
and
credit.
stuff, so
You know what I mean?
They can say that a grant has benefited me before; it'll benefit me again. And like it's just overall, I can't see the negative in this, which a lot of people are spouting negatives. And I guess
And
understandably so after the festivals, all the stuff that happened this weekend.
I saw
can
somebody in the
understand
notes,
losing
like right when
confidence.
everything was happening, somebody in the notes was like, selling Manifesto tickets.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people like that, and like
How much is Rolling Loud really paying all the Toronto guys?
not sure, but regardless,
Are they going to be paying them a shitload? I highly doubt it.
Regardless, though, the Rolling Loud, kind of like Manifesto, when they go to certain cities, their main goal, one of their main goals is to give exposure to the local artists.
Exactly.
They don't even have to come here and put any of them on. Let's be very real. With the artists they have in that building, they don't need to put anybody on. But they just, that's a part of their mission statement, is putting on local artists, whatever city they go to, and giving them a chance to hit the stage.
Yeah.
Rolling Loud is another one that's happened in multiple countries, multiple cities for multiple years, and put on by consummate professionals. For people to think that the same fuckery is going to happen at Rolling Loud or Manifesto or Kendrick Lamar is like, just, it's mind blowing to me. Like, let's have some realistic thoughts here. I know the jokes are fun and everything, but it affects real people's lives when you talk about these Toronto artists on the Manifesto show who have to deal with these questions and the scrutiny when all they want to do is perform and have a good show.
I mean, I feel like the biggest, like Kendrick and Rolling Loud, I don't think people have really any doubts about it. I think
no,
it's
I've
just like,
seen it. I've seen it online.
I think it's like the real thing is Manifesto, because it's a Toronto based everything. You know what I mean?
People are questioning all three of them.
Really?
All three of them. I've seen
At this
people,
point, I would have the distrust I would have with any festival happening in the city. Like, I would feel the exact same way.
I would feel that way if I had not seen like
Well,
I
okay,
said,
so
Rolling Loud has done it in other
I just
other
pulled up the
countries.
Rolling Loud.
Manifesto I've been to multiple times
yeah.
and seen them do huge shows and
Yeah.
gone off without
Rolling
a hitch.
Loud had tweeted during all of
Yeah.
this stuff. They said, Toronto, don't worry, we got you.
y'all.
I was like, hold on, don't speak too soon.
Look at
now.
the quote
don't
tweets.
Jinx it.
Exactly,
But
that's the
I'm
quote
like, just
tweets.
don't drink it. You know,
The quote
you don't
tweets
want
are just bare
anything.
people going, you shouldn't have said this.
Like, just chill.
Yeah.
But I see people saying like, before you talk, make sure you have WizKid's visa for Canada secured. Like, I hope this includes safety. Like,
That's the only part that people should be worried about.
yeah.
Who are the security guards? It always comes back to those niggas. What security companies are being rented to be a part of this?
If WizKid or any of those headliners get COVID, oh man, it's over.
Yeah, if anybody huge drops out for whatever reason, it doesn't matter what it is, people are just gonna go right back to
Rolling
whatever
Loud has
just
to
happened.
go off without a hitch. Like these festivals, literally, there's so much riding on the line now. Like,
Well, they could
Well,
just
they
give
have
out
a
a
month.
50% promo code for their next event.
That's
And they'll be
ridiculous.
Yo, the man said, together we are just beginning our celebration in music. We brought together thousands of fans to experience our culture. This was truly historic. And something we can together proudly build on going forward. We recognize the issues briefly touched upon above and assure we are already working to improve. We will be moving forward to compensate our loyal patrons by bringing the next festival indoors inside of an arena with a 50% off promo code. We will relive Kingston Fest and together have the ultimate experience. Another grammar. It seems to be a common thread here. If they can't
spell
speak and
or
spell.
get the pronunciation or the punctuation right,
they can't
then don't
organize their
trust them.
sentences.
Exactly.
You can't organize your sentences, let alone organize
We
a
need,
full
you guys,
festival.
we need you guys to do an EQAO test before putting on
God.
any festivals.
Yeah.
I want to see your EQAO score.
They still do EQA.
I doubt it. I think it's unethical. But yeah, Toronto especially, like let's just do
At
better when it
least
comes to
Kultureland got refunds.
the second
They
day.
did?
Yeah,
Yeah, they got
second day they're getting refunds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's getting refunds any way they can because I've seen people
You just
post
gotta go to
Ticketmaster,
your
and they're getting refunds. Plus, the fact that this was on every news cycle helps your case immensely. Like it was on CP24.
All you have to do is go
It
to
was
your
on
credit card.
CTV. It was on 680 News. It was
Yeah.
on Global. It was on Blog TO. It was nonstop. Yeah, you guys need to fix up, man. Like this is very embarrassing. Very embarrassing because as I start thinking of how these artists are gonna view our city and what kind of quality of promoters we have here and how they're gonna be dealt with when they come the next time. We already have the fucking weather against us. We don't need this.
We don't need the artist saying like, nah,
Yeah, and then I'm hearing like allegedly. An Italian family is the real funders and investors in Kingston Fest.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Rasta
Did you know
pasta.
that?
Someone's like, yeah, I live beside them. They always invest in these type of events. They invest in black events pretty often.
I heard that Chubby's isn't owned by.
I don't doubt it.
Chubby's is owned by an Italian woman that said that she went to Jamaica and came back and couldn't find good jerk here, so she started Chubby's.
Wow.
Allegedly.
So our chest high. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What else? Did
A
anything
mess.
else happen that we missed?
I was gonna say that it definitely was something in the water because I seen that Musiq Soulchild performed at the Aretha Franklin Stadium in Detroit, and he had sound issues, and they had to go and give out like refunds too. They were like, "Oh, we'll give you." Well, no, they didn't say they're gonna give refund, or I think they said you can get 50% refund, or you can get 50% off a next ticket to go see SWV or like one other concert if you want. But there was technical
Everybody
issues
having
everywhere.
trouble everywhere, man. You just gotta get
human, just
somebody
like
up.
you're
You
human.
know what I mean? You just gotta say it sometimes.
Listen, don't worry. I can't even listen. You think I want to be here? I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care. Listen to everybody else. Yeah, everybody, you can do all of that. You can do all of that. It's okay. You can do all of that.
Oh my God.
Me, I don't want to be here. We're all out. Just like this. If you're smart, you follow everybody else. Have a good night.
People was pissed.
I said if you're smart.
That you'll be looking for will be, listen, I don't care what you're telling. Listen, me.
Listen. I don't care what you're telling me. Listen. I'm human like you're human, okay? That girl was yelling at him. I seen another angle where she's just yelling at him, and I'm just like, man, I would be so pissed if I was Igbo. Like, I really do get it. And breaking news, Angela Yee just tweeted, the Breakfast Club as you know it is officially over.
No way.
She just tweeted that.
Wow. As we go on, we remember.
So you're telling me Jesus and Mero and now Breakfast Club.
New York is crumbling. New York media is crumbling.
Hey, yo.
I mean, you know what?
Why?
So Breakfast Club was contingent on what Charlemagne wanted to do with his career.
Always.
If Charlemagne, literally, like it
always,
was, like literally it was up to whenever their contract was done.
Yep.
He got to decide whether or not he wanted to still do Breakfast Club or move on to different ventures. Like he really wants to do everything TV, you know, and explore.
He just started
options.
the second season of his show.
Yeah, so it was from the last contract. He was the one that decided that he wanted to come back. So they're like, okay, we'll keep it again. Yeah. And he only signed like a few years or whatever. It wasn't a long contract.
Rightfully so. He's doing so much outside of that space now, and he's grown from that. I think just shedding that from his current everyday dealings is gonna do wonders for his career in terms of evolution and going to the next step. Because he's got Black Effects Network, which is a all black podcast network with tons of just heavy hitting podcasts, big names on there, like Just Hilarious, DC Young Fly, 85 South Show, all those guys. You got his books, obviously, that sell immensely well. You have his new show, which they've changed up the format to a panel now. It's not like it's like a late night format. Nice. It's like a panel of people, which I think is going to be way better for him in terms of having these discussions, because that one-on-one thing when you're talking about politics and all this stuff,
it's harder.
It's way more difficult to keep an entertaining conversation and an engaging one when it's just you and one other person.
Yeah, you need multiple opinions to just go back and forth.
Yeah, a spectrum of political ideas.
Yeah, he needs different personalities and different beliefs.
Yeah. And I think he had Andrew Schultz on the first episode, who's also, they still do Brilliant Idiots every week. That podcast is obviously doing really well. So he's got a lot on his plate, and he's evolved so much from the Charlemagne we knew in early Breakfast Club days. Yeah, that was sniffing J-Lo's chair and telling women and staring at women's titties and just saying he just was such a shock value guy. Like he comes from that old school
well, that was his job. That was his position. He was hired to do that. You know what I mean?
Even when he was on Wendy, that was like that's where it started. Where he said these shocking things that would get him in beefs and all these other things that garnered more attention to whatever he was doing. And that Ray J episode.
He really has grown mentally.
Great.
Mentally, spiritually, like all of that shit. So.
If you see Brilliant Idiots, it's like, it's a completely different person. Like all the things that Andrew still wants to joke about because he's a comedian. Yeah. Charlemagne will just stay silent. Yeah. Or just say, nah, we can't do that, bro. We can't do that. Or no, I don't call women bitches. Or I don't say the N-word. Like all these different things that old Charlemagne.
Yeah, ruthless.
Top of the list. Yeah. Top of the list. Right now, he's such a spirit. He's got like a spiritual advisor. He's got
good for him though.
Really good.
You know, like some people are gonna hate it. The people that want him to stay the same Charlemagne that they might have Charlemagne, but like Leonard is growing. Yeah. And definitely. He's probably such a better person, like human being, father, husband. So good for him for taking like these steps. His real name's
Leonard?
Yeah.
Leonard.
Or Leonard, yeah.
As Monique says, Leonard.
Yeah. Leonard.
But the thing is like, one thing to note is like how much his life has improved as he's improved himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it could be a lesson to a lot of people. He was almost homeless when he was working with Wendy, and like
Yeah.
he
was living. Sorry, I've read all his books. He was living out of Wendy's like spare room or whatever,
Yeah.
and then something happened with him and Kevin, and he ended up having
Kevin
to
was
like
her man.
her ex-husband, but he was her manager at the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he had to move out, but he was with his girl. His girl was like working so much. And he talks about how he had to, I guess, like the welfare type lines or whatever when he got let go.
Yeah.
And he had no money. He was like, that was the most prideful thing that he ever had to do because he didn't have money. His girl was like working multiple shifts. I think she's worked somewhere within like hospital care or something like that. And I think she was pregnant too.
Oh, wow.
And so he was like, it was
Pressure.
the most prideful thing. Like, I come from being on the #1 show in the tri-state area.
Yep.
Everybody knows my voice. They know like my face. And I'm here having to be in a welfare line so I can get some checks.
Humbling.
You know?
Humbling, man.
Yeah.
That's like when Will Smith lost all his money right before he got Fresh Prince. Just such a humbling experience being on that bus and somebody's like, "Aren't you Will Smith?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck, man! Like, yeah, I have a Grammy. This is crazy." Like, and it's wild that you're like, people don't understand how often that happens. Like, it happens so often, but you don't hear about it because those people aren't relevant anymore. So you don't even hear their fall off. Like, if you go to watch BT's digital channel on YouTube,
BT Plus, I think, or something.
yeah, and you watch the story ofs. Like, they got Jaquan, Chingy, Tweets, all the people you forgot about. And their stories are just, it's so humbling. Like, you can't take things for granted, man. And you really got to be grateful for everything that's happening for you when it's happening.
Yeah, because you never know when it could get stripped away from
like
you.
that. Look at Homeboy who was on the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And then the next time we see him, he's doing groceries at Kroger's.
Yeah, he's bagging groceries and shit.
You know what I mean? And then from that, someone trying to embarrass him, his whole life changes again.
Flipped
Yeah.
again.
And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
back on TV. He's doing multiple TV shows.
Yeah.
And like, just doing incredible. So it's like, you never know. Like, I think even when you think about when I was younger, thinking about athletes, my whole view on athletes' careers have changed now. Because when I was younger, it's like the view is like, oh, when they retire, there's only seems like they're about to die like 10, 20 years
can they
later.
really
What
do?
else is left? But they're like realistically 35, a lot of these niggas.
Yeah.
36, 38, and
And
retiring. And it's
Yeah.
like,
and if they're not smart with their money, then should.
I mean, there's a really good documentary. I think it's called Ballers. I can't remember what it's called. It might be called Ballers, where it highlights people like Antoine Walker, who had a gambling addiction, and so many different athletes. I used to play at Onyx all the time, and so many different athletes that share their stories on how they lost all their money just being stupid and doing dumb things and being reckless and not investing, buying properties, all these other things. So like, yeah, man, shit ain't sweet just because you make it.
Yeah.
Shit can get real dark, and it'll arguably darker,
Right.
because you made it to that point.
Falling. Yeah.
And the fall from that point, because you know what
And
it
some
tastes
people
like now.
can't
The
keep
fall
their
from the heights
egos
of
in check
stardom.
when they go from that. And so then that's when people get into the hard drugs and they get the addictions and they become suicidal or have the overdoses because they're just like not happy with
They're drowning.
where they are
Yeah.
at that moment.
The story of Len Bias. Is it Len Bias? Len Bias, the guy who's supposed to be better than LeBron. And how he ruined his career. Go watch that documentary. If you don't cry, you don't have soul.
Such a sad.
It's such a
What
sad
is it on?
documentary. It's I don't know where you would find it
It
right
might
now.
even
but
be a YouTube one.
yeah, you might be able to find it on YouTube. It's just the saddest thing. Like, I'll never, ever forget. It sticks in my mind as like a driving force for me never
Yeah.
to stop. This guy's sitting in a party at the end of the movie. Okay, he's much older, slightly overweight, looks a lot different, and he's a drunk. Like, he drinks a lot. When he drinks, he just goes for it.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in the party, music's blaring, and like there's barely anybody there. And he's drunk, he's got the bottle in his hand, and he's just singing the song over and over again. While this is a girl sitting on his lap, his girlfriend, and he's just singing the song, and he's so drunk, and tears are just
Coming
flowing
down
out his eyes, and he's just singing the song over and over again. Like, it was the saddest thing I ever seen in my
What's
life.
his name again?
Len Bias.
Len
It
Bias.
was the saddest shit I ever seen in my life. I'm like, that is broken. Like, that's a broken soul. That's insane. You're talked about with one of the greatest players that ever lived, and you got to watch that nigga every night on TV. And they show him watching LeBron on TV and shit.
Because he lost that game and never.
Are you
was never
sure?
the same.
Is there another Len Bias? Because it says that he died.
See, I knew I had it mixed up with the guy who died from coke on the night of draft night.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find the name for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up. Actually, that's your job. You got a laptop.
The day Innocence died, it says it on ESPN.
That's a Len
A
Bias
22-year-old black male died as a result of cocaine intoxication.
Draft night, he got drafted #1 and overdosed on cocaine.
LeBron's high school nemesis.
Yeah, look up LeBron's high school nemesis and see. There's a documentary on him. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, man.
Lonnie?
No.
Who is LeBron James?
You guys remember
High
LAYA?
school. Who?
You guys remember LAYA that I brought on the show that we interviewed, singer?
Okay,
I'll be a Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
You guys know the movie Up? I mean, Nope.
Yeah.
With Daniel and Keke Palmer.
Yeah. Lenny Cook.
Lenny Cook. That's his name. It was close to Lonnie. This is them.
What was that song you put me on to last summer?
Oh, Leo.
Yeah.
Hey.
Leia.
Love that.
Leia.
I be a Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon, that's it. The Sailor Moon.
I know it's funny too. Yeah. I be a Sailor Moon.
This is extra gravy exclusive. Premiere.
So you're saying Marlon should be an A&R?
We just pick the winners. That's all I'm saying. We pick the winners.
You hear the new one, Soccer to Me? Soccer to Me one?
Of course. Oh, just a work of art. I saw her perform at a WNBA halftime show. I was like,
Nice.
let's go. Shout out to LAYA, man. Pray for big things for her. Another one I chose early on, Lady London, killing shit right now. She dropped a music video, dropped a single. She had a freestyle on Flex, bodied that shit. Everybody's just doing well. Zen Soul just performed with Sean Paul last week. Just give me the light. That's 2 episodes crashing into one right there.
So somebody hire Marlon as A&R.
If y'all want, listen, I can make you the money. I'm telling you. I know how to spot talent. All right? That's all I'm saying. Speaking of talent, there's a picture here of the most influential NBA players ever. It's a Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rush. Okay.
Influential.
Most influential
Ever?
NBA players ever.
Who would you have on your
And they
top?
have, that's what I wanted to present, basically. I want us to do a segment every week where we say, what's our Mount Rushmore for
Of
different
whatever.
shit.
Okay.
So what's your Mount Rushmore for most influential players? I'll give you what they put down. They got LeBron.
Don't tell us yet.
No. Come on. Give us some reference points. Got LeBron, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, and Kobe Bryant as this person's most influential. For me, I'm taking Kobe out, putting in Iverson, and this list is fine with me.
Really?
Yes.
I'd have Kobe still. I do Kobe, LeBron, MJ. Iverson is on there though. Fuck.
You can't take out Steph Curry.
Why?
He's the most influential person in modern day sports.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
changed the NBA.
He changed everything. He's got people in multiple sports doing this now. Like every sport, tennis, racing, everything is sport. That he's too influential. The reason I take Kobe out and I put Iverson in, because obviously it's got to be 4
Iverson
names.
was definitely influential in
reason I
terms
put-
of his fashion and stuff like that too.
The reason I put him in instead of Kobe is Michael Jordan 2.0 to me. It's not, I don't see people trying to be like Kobe when they try to be like Kobe. I just see people trying to be like Michael, which is what Kobe was. He was like you see videos of it all the time where they put their plays side by side and it's a splitting image.
but Mamba mentality is something on its own, though, too. I feel
Yeah.
like as much as Jordan had his own thing, like he's the best, Mamba mentality is like even Jordan gives
I
up.
feel like for
No,
me,
Jordan's competitive spirit is way bigger of a thing than Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality just has a name.
Mamba mentality worked harder.
No, it did not.
Than Jordan.
Are you
100%.
insane? How?
It worked harder than Jordan.
How?
He worked way more hours in the gym than Jordan.
Are you insane?
I'm not insane.
You're just talking shit out of your ass right
No,
now.
100%.
No, you're talking shit out of your ass right now.
You're saying Kobe didn't train more hours.
You're telling
in
me
the
that
gym
Kobe Bryant's more competitive than Michael Jordan? Is that what you're
I'm
telling me?
talking about Mamba mentality is training.
And the training that went into Michael Jordan is the reason why they talk about his competitive spirit. Are you telling me that Michael Jordan is not as competitive as
Michael
Kobe
Jordan
Bryant?
didn't make his high school team.
What does that mean? That became his motivation to become the greatest of all time.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that was a catalyst, yeah. Mamba mentality was something that he coined, first of all, 12 years into his career? It was something he did to reignite himself. It's not even something that he always had. So that's something that he gave himself Black Mamba name in like 2000, I don't even know, 12, 11. And then the Mamba mentality came from that. And it became like more of a selling thing than anything, to be honest.
So
until he died, where it became like symbolic, like this is what Kobe's known for, Mamba mentality.
And I feel Mamba mentality to NBA players today is more influential than what Allen Iverson is
Absolutely
to the culture
not.
of the NBA.
Absolutely not.
So you're
when
telling me people
Allen
want,
Iverson changed the dress code. He changed crossover
and that's what
rules. He changed
I'm
the
talking about
little man
culture.
game.
I'm talking culture.
You're talking about the most influential NBA player ever. If you're talking about influence on the game of basketball, Allen Iverson brought hip hop to basketball. That's first of all. You're talking about a rapper that was actually considered a rapper. A basketball player that's considered a rapper as well. You're talking about someone that brought tattoos to the league. You're talking about someone that they changed the code of dress code for the
I
league.
know all these things.
So how can you even say that?
Well, because,
aren't you wearing an Iverson jersey right now?
you asked me what mine was, and I'm telling you, I have Kobe because of Kobe mentality.
Kobe mentality trumps all of that I just
Mamba
named to you.
mentality, and because he died, the fact that he died,
Oh my
he's
goodness.
commemorated and loved more than Iverson.
That's not about love. It's about influence,
Iverson is
nigga.
very-
But
so listen,
Nobody's talking about love.
I think
I'm
that
talking about the impact he made after he died too.
when you
stands
ask
for
that
something.
question, for me, I go straight to like branding and consumerism, not with a style of play. And I just think that Steph Curry doesn't have it in terms of like consumerism and
I
know
will
about
argue
that in the
against
Phil-
that.
in the Philippines.
New Balance is a thing now, and that not New Balance. Sorry,
No.
Under Armour. They was it 400% in the first year of him signing, and became a legitimate
I just
athletic
don't-
gear and signed other athletes based off of that. Like there are actual Under Armour signed athletes that never existed before him. His influence on consumerism is humongous, especially when you go to China. Oh my God, he's huge.
Well,
Asia,
but
he's
this
huge,
is this is the thing. Like, so is Kobe. He's huge in China.
Humongous.
So is LeBron in China.
Yeah.
Like, so
But I'm saying he's on par with
Iverson
that.
might not be
Iverson's
that
not
big.
that big in Asia.
Steph Marbury was huge in China. But yeah, for me, like I'm saying that I just go in terms of like that. And and especially I go to sneakers when you think about it, like Kobe sell out, LeBron sell out, like Iverson's obviously did its thing back then. And then of course Jordan's are.
Steph is more of the hoopers. LeBron is also more for the hoopers. Like I think LeBron got a little bit of time where it was like
LeBron's
kind of cool to wear LeBrons. for
Yeah,
like,
no. When he first launched them,
Yeah.
LeBrons were very, very popular.
Yeah.
Now they're just like they're a basketball shoe.
Yeah.
But
Steph's never had that outside appeal ever.
No.
For kicks specifically.
yeah, you're never gonna really rock a fucking Under Armour sneaker.
But when you're talking about stopping fast breaks to take a three, shooting from the logo, all these different things,
but that
he's
has
changed
to.
the game.
But that comes down to style of play.
But it's
I
still
don't know.
influence on the game, regardless.
I just say for me when I hear influential, I think of what player was influential worldwide. Like
Yeah.
that's so like basketball is so specific. People who don't watch basketball know who Steph Curry is, but they know who like Iverson is because of everything else that he brought. They'll rock the shoes, they'll rock the jersey, they'll rock X, Y, and Z because of it. So
you're
I'm just
saying
thinking
outside of
like outside
basketball.
of like basketball, the play and like the things that they do on the court.
Yeah.
Like
I could say,
I think that their stocks are really high.
I think I can understand that in terms of like weaving your way into the culture in like for example, Kobe, when you shoot it into a trash can, you say Kobe. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. I could understand that for sure.
But like, and even with Mamba mentality, it goes to anything in the world. Like whatever you're doing. Remember the
Mamba
commercial
mentality.
with Kanye? And Kanye was talking about Mamba mentality, like with Kobe. You don't remember the commercial?
Yeah.
I don't remember him talking about Mamba mentality.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
What are you talking about, Kobe? That doesn't mean anything.
And he was like, it was Mamba mentality. Like,
I didn't know that's what he had said. I thought it was, I thought it was the I hate you. I'm mixing it up with the I hate you chorus one where he's like getting people to sing in the stands. I hate Kobe or whatever. But
he's just like, do more. What do you tell? He's like,
that's what he said. I was like,
Kobe,
did he say
do
Mamba
more.
mentality?
I don't remember.
But I think the encompassing thing was about
Mm.
Mamba mentality. Yeah, that's what it was.
And then like obviously LeBron with anything. I mean, Beats by Dre kind of go hand in hand with LeBron. Like back in the day, we seen him wear them all the time.
Beats by Dre. I don't associate LeBron with Beats by Dre.
I feel like back in the day he was seen wearing them.
I don't doubt. I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure he's probably got a sponsorship with them at some point.
No, so
I don't associate
with LeBron. He didn't take money. He asked for stock.
Yeah,
and so he's been doing it for.
He does that a lot.
Decades.
He did that with Liverpool. He's setting himself up to become the owner of the Las Vegas team or the Seattle team that gets expanded to the NBA. I watched a video on the long play that he did to get into it. He's a part of Turner Sports management, which runs the Red Sox, the fucking Boston. What's their Bruins, Liverpool over in Europe, and so he owns part of Liverpool as well. And it's all a big play. When it was time to re-up on his contract, instead of asking for more money, he asked for a stake in it, like a 2% stake in the company or in the partnership group. And so now in the long play, years from now, he'll be able to acquire the NBA team and own it, which will be insane. And hopefully go way better than Michael Jordan.
And what was that?
What was what?
That you were watching?
Oh, it was just a YouTube video. Just a YouTube video. I'll send it to you if I can find it.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, he's making long plays for some very, very big moves. And we're seeing I'm seeing a lot more entertainers, especially black entertainers, sinking their teeth into very large ventures, like especially ones that will play out over a long time. I can't remember how many. I think it was Shaq said he owns over 100 businesses or has stake in over 100 businesses.
I feel like Shaq and I feel like
Magic.
Oh yeah.
Those two are the
Starbucks.
ones. They're the ones that paved the way for athletes to like really invest in multiple businesses.
That's a very good point. And even take it further than that, Magic and Larry Bird together kind of brought consumerism to the NBA. Because you remember those early Converse commercials where they would go head to head.
If you watch that show on, was it HBO or something like that?
Winning Time.
Yeah, Winning Time,
Yeah.
which I really loved.
Great
But
show.
you see them competing for Converse and the Nike Blazers. The guy came up and was like, we can get the Nike Blazers and it will have your name. And now he says that he regrets it because he could have made
10 times more.
billion something dollars off of
Michael Jordan choosing Nike was an interesting little story as well with Tinker and what's his coach name? I can't remember what his coach's name was. Tinker's coach that invented the cleats. Remember they invented the running cleats and stuff like that? Can't remember what his name was, but yeah, those people, when you make those
You're not
long
talking
plays,
about Phil Knight, like the owner.
No.
Creator of Nike.
So you're going with Kobe, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, and what?
I'm going with
Iverson,
Kobe, Iverson, LeBron, and MJ.
MJ, okay. And you're going with Kobe, Steph?
Yeah, I'm keeping that exactly.
That exact same. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That's this week's Mount Rushmores. We'll post them. We'll post them on the socials.
Kobe with Iverson.
I'm replacing Kobe with Iverson, yeah. I love Kobe to death, my favorite player, but I just can't have him in that influential discussion for me personally.
And I guess because Kobe's career spanned a bit longer, like I feel people know him more as a result.
For me, it's
So, like,
more
he's
so,
more of a household name to a kid that doesn't know like Iverson's impact. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, we forget about Iverson's jersey too. Probably like one of the most popular jerseys ever.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
black
was trying
one.
to say. Like people rock that shit and they never even fucking. I remember
And
having a Philly.
Remember his wristbands too?
Yeah, like putting
With
the
eye,
sleeve and something like that.
The
and
sleeve was huge. I forgot about the sleeve.
yeah, like people used to dress like him. Like,
On road.
You know what I mean?
People wearing sleeves on road.
Never played basketball in their lives. Had sleeves.
Any man
and the
showed up to the
headbands
court in the
all that
sleeves and the
stuff,
headbands and
like,
shit. I'm like, he's the worst player here.
Fucking Iverson invented cornrows.
Yeah, trust
The
me.
fish bones, man. Once you saw the fish bones on him, you were like, oh, okay.
Iverson's, and this is the other thing about Kobe too, is the loner thing. Like, he's not a guy that was very sociable early on in his career.
Early in his career, for sure.
And I think that was a detriment to things that could have happened for him outside of basketball.
Well, I mean, the
even
whole
when he did
Brandy
his
thing
rap
and-
career.
Yeah, and Tyra Banks and Brian McKnight.
Yeah,
like,
it's like if he had a bigger personality, those things would have made more sense. But I think it came out of left field for people when they seen him rapping and doing all these things, which, to be honest, if you go back and listen, he's not the worst rapper. He's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not worse than Shaq.
he was just a guy in Los Angeles, you know, with all these resources and people saying, "Hey, you could do this, you could do that." You should.
It's like, okay.
Why not?
It's even
Why
like,
try it, right?
remember Kim, I don't know if you guys remember, Kim Kardashian made a song.
yeah, Kim
And
K
it was
even
like
had some.
ridiculous.
Everybody makes a song at some point, man.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when you're around these artists all the time, you're like, oh, you're so cool.
The best rapper that was ever an NBA player or NBA player that was decided to rap,
Dame Dollar.
Yep, Damian
for
Lillard.
sure. And then I would also go and say that Iman is pretty decent.
Iman's
Iman
good.
Shumpert.
I like Miles Bridges better.
Miles
Miles
Bridges.
Bridges is nice. Marcus Bagley, he's nice.
Ron Artest. Remember Ron Artest came out with an album?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Warrior with one arm.
Oh my gosh, what was that guy's name? He used to play for Orlando. He could sing.
Oladipo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good singer. He's
Yeah.
a really
He
good
sing
singer.
the anthems and whatnot.
Yeah.
He good.
He's a really good singer. Yeah, no, he's got a great voice. He's probably got the best voice I've heard in the NBA.
Yeah.
In terms of vocals. But there's probably been
else?
bare people that can sing that just were like, no, I'm not singing around these niggas.
Yeah. They'd be singing in church.
Who else had NBA
Shaq.
rapper careers? Shaq.
Shaq had a rapping
Yeah.
career.
Allen Iverson rapped. Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson, yeah. I remember that.
I guess
Steven Jackson.
the best rapper or the most successful one would be Master P, even though he did.
True.
Facts.
Technically.
Toronto Raptor, former Raptor. In other news this week, The Rock said he wants to clap Megan's cheeks to oblivion. No, he didn't say that. He said they asked The Rock at a press junket with him and Kevin Hart for their newest thing, if he could be the pet of a certain celebrity, who would it be? He, without hesitation, said Meg Thee Stallion.
Really?
And they're like, "Why?" He's like, "We don't need to do that." And Kevin Hart's just there dying beside him, right? Party apparently didn't like it.
She treats her dog really special.
I-
What's his name? 4 or something like that.
I don't doubt it. Party apparently had some things to say about it. He said, "All our dogs is named after numbers." I don't know what that means. Is her dog named after a
4.
number? Oh, okay. Well, I guess The Rock has a number dog as well. He said, "Just teach your wife to use seasoning. You'll be all right. Awana is the shit, though." And I guess people pulled up pics of The Rock's wife, who is white. And so I guess it was a dig at his wife being white
Yeah.
because he said that he would be Meg Thee Stallion's pet dog. I just failed to see why that was the response. But a lot of people were quick to point out, this is the end. Well, a lot of women were quick to point out that this is the energy of a man that is not used to having a bad bitch. What say you? What say you to this? Can you agree with this? Is this
The Rock is the man, though. So like, he could be a
The
threat.
Rock
The Rock is the last person I'm responding to. I'm gonna just put that
You know
out
what I'm
there.
saying? Like,
It's the last person I'm gonna respond to.
he
And
truly feels threatened, though.
some people were like, "How The Rock is pandering to black people," and y'all just fell for it. And I'm just like,
What?
The Rock, first of all, does not need to pander to anyone.
Yeah.
The man sells more than anybody
For
ever.
anything.
And secondly, we're not even his base. We're not his core demographic.
Yeah.
His core demographic is middle-aged white men.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me. Like, why would he
Yeah.
be pandering to us? It doesn't make any sense. So there's that. People saying that Party's not used to having a bad bitch, and he's...
I don't know. Party's really fine. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
No, like, so you're saying that he's never had a fine woman before?
You could be a good-looking person and never had anybody that's bad. That's very much true. You could definitely have
Google,
that.
who has
And if
Party?
he was with them, he's not with them anymore. So did it work? Even if you're used to having a bad bitch, doesn't mean you act accordingly. You might have slipped, he might have fell. Who knows?
Who has partisan?
Dude.
You gonna
Yes.
check his
One of
roster.
those- yeah. See if it comes up.
Oh my God. We do something each and every week on our podcast. We don't miss a week. Really. Like we never miss a week. It is our good youth of the week. Ah, you're such a good youth. What a good blood clot youth. Really? You do the thing with the thing and you know
even
such a good youth when you do it. So good.
My.
So good.
Wow.
This week's good youth is none other than the greatest athlete of all time.
Big Baby Davis.
Very close.
What?
Not at all close. Serena Williams.
Hey.
Serena Williams has
I thought you were going to be
announced,
sarcastic.
has announced her retirement
Yes.
from the game
After playing in Toronto.
after playing in
in this
Toronto, by the way.
ridiculous weekend. That was probably the one thing that
She
went
wanted to
well.
go to Cultureland and said, fuck this shit. I'm finished. I'm done with everything. And she retired. What an incredible career, man. What an incredible career. What an incredible woman. Incredible mom. She's just all of the things.
The good youth really just wants to focus on her own good youths. You know, she wants
just
to be a
raise
better
good
mother.
Can't raise good youths if you're not a good youth being at home with the good youths. You know what I mean?
Olympia, right? That's her name.
I have no
Olympia,
idea.
her daughter's name.
I have no idea, but I saw
Yeah,
her
it's
swinging a
Olympia.
racket and I was very pleased.
Yeah, no, she's been training since she was like 2.
Love it. I love when the athletes' children start to get into the same thing. Tiger Woods' son is a sicko.
But
LeBron's
she said that
son,
she wants a sibling. She wants to be a big sister.
Her daughters?
Yeah.
That Reddit nigga
She
about to
said
get
she wants to be a big sister.
Reddit boy about to get to work. Her man is the founder of Reddit.
Who?
Serena Williams, her husband,
Yeah.
is the guy that founded Reddit.
Alexis.
What?
Yeah,
His name's Alexis.
no small
She's
change.
married- she's
no
married to a
small
billionaire.
change.
Yeah, I remember.
No
she
small
got married
change.
to a millionaire.
Yeah, man.
White,
for her.
A white guy.
Yeah.
Look at all these black women marrying billionaires and running off into the distance. Eve, Serena Williams. Who's next?
Well, I guess Rihanna did for a bit.
I think
but
Sweetie's
then
gonna
came
find
back.
herself a billionaire.
Who?
I think Sweetie's gonna find herself a billionaire
Sweetie?
and say fuck all you.
He's gonna be.
sure.
He's gonna be like Arab. He's gonna be like a Saudi prince or something.
I don't know. He's going to be a Nigerian gas billionaire.
Oh. All
Nah,
right.
he's gonna be a Filipino.
Okay, all right. Thank
fish
you guys.
tycoon. Runs mad tuna canning fish company.
Runs
And
Kamayan restaurants.
Yeah. He
He has a chain of Jollibees.
He's the biggest mango dealer of Eastern Asia.
She's gonna marry the owner of Jollibees. That's what's gonna happen. Thank you guys tuning in with us for a very tumultuous episode. Very, very tumultuous episode.
Sorry to anybody that was affected and had to deal with the mess over the weekend. We sympathize with you.
Yes.
If you feel
unless
the
you were
need
there until 11 p.m., I don't sympathize with you.
Yeah,
That's-
you should have got the point.
You should have gotten the point at 8.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Now, if you want to experience a really, really good show,
Yes, an amazing show.
a show that won't leave you disappointed.
2 shows at that.
2 shows.
2 shows.
Yes. You could look forward to next week's return of the
Extra Gravy Comedy, baby. Oh yeah.
live at the
Comedy Bar.
I'm so happy that you guys are on the same page because I was about to say I am not co-signing any of this shit.
Comedy Bar.
I don't know what you guys were gonna endorse, and I was like, nope.
We're back at Comedy Bar next Wednesday. Tickets will go on sale as you hear it.
Yes, yes.
Tickets will be on sale on Comedy Bar's website, comedybar.ca. If you go to their show schedule, you'll see ours on the 17th there. Show starts at 9:30. We got an amazing lineup of comedians, obviously. Yep. It was a very big deal for us to move to Comedy Bar. It's one of the main comedy venues in the entire city. It's going to get us a lot of good eyes on the show, as well as like we get a good mix of casual people that love to come to comedy shows, as well as our Gravy Gang members that love to come out and watch as well. So that's going to be amazing. And of course, on the 27th,
celebrating
at the Soho House, we will be celebrating
5
years of Extra Gravy. We got a great live show that we are going to put on for you guys at Soho House. It's going to be 4 to 6.
4 to 6 p.m.
You got Chef Norm cooking up. Got a little extra gravy menu that we're going to be. Yeah, he's gonna be coordinating the kitchen of Soho House that day.
Nice.
And making sure you guys
Can you make sure I get
are
some
fed.
food?
And
Nice.
the best part about it all, I think the best part about it all is it's absolutely free to you guys.
Freedom.
We're not charging you guys a dime. This is a celebration. We're going to put up the RSVP list and link for you guys.
Yes.
So you guys can RSVP. And
So if you missed out on, if you went to these festivals and you feel the need to redeem or like to make up for that loss,
If you need to
weekend.
end the summer on a high note,
yes. Come through to the Extra Gravy 5-year anniversary show.
and maybe
Soho House.
Nola might be there.
Ooh. It's an Extra Gravy exclusive. Premiere. Exclusive.
She might make an appearance. She needs an
Soho
appearance.
House.
So that means you got to put together some baby merch too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know we're gonna have merch on deck.
Yeah, we definitely are gonna have an incredible show. It is gonna be first come, first serve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Soho House is not that big, guys.
Yeah.
So do not waste time in RSVPing if you are planning to come. It's 4 to 6. Still got tons of the day left if you want to.
And if you can't make it, can they give up their spot so that
well,
somebody
don't
else?
take the spot.
Yeah.
If you can't make it, if you take up a spot and you know you can't make it, please reach out to us or reach out to Gravy Gang members and
Try to like exchange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that
don't
somebody
be like-
else can.
Don't be
come.
like Kultureland. Just let us know you're canceling. Okay?
On that note, thank you guys for tuning in, listening. Another week, another classic nigga. I'm Marlon,
I'm Norm.
I'm Alicia.
and that was the Extra Gravy. Skr. Bam, 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 bam. Go so